is Socrates. He's on the move, and they're going to look for Socrates in the corner. Touchdown!
Rowan heading for the touchpad with the lead, and the Props will take the men's 400-yard freestyle relay.
Andrews will be in shotgun. He takes the snap, makes the handoff. They'll throw it down the left sideline. He's going to wind up a receiver. He's got the touchdown.
Okay, moving in. Sets one on goal, and he scores!
And it is a power play goal.
Back to pass, middle of the field. The catch is made by Britt. She's off to the races at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Britt is in for the score.
Back on in. Here's Yoxon. Yoxon with the backhand. Trying to go to the front. Makes the move and shot. And he scores!
Smith delivers. That's it back toward the mound. Weiss has it in short. He steps on second, and the ball game is over. Massapequa Coast has won the 2023 New York State Little League Baseball Championship.
From St. Peter's High School in Staten Island, New York, PDF Sports Network is proud to present coverage of Big East football and the inaugural championship final. Today, the top-seeded and undefeated New York Patriots take on the number 3-seeded, fresh off of one upset and looking for another, the New York Crusaders. Hello again, everyone. I am David Pizzuto alongside Joe Foreman. And Joe, what a debut season for Big East football, semi-pro's newest spring league in the area, coming to an end here on Staten Island, and you could not have scripted it any better. Two long-standing rivals reunite, this time with a trophy on the line.
And Dave, it's certainly fitting that it would be these two teams meeting with a league championship on the line, and even more fitting that we get to bring the matchup to you here on PDF. As we've seen firsthand, these two teams are two teams that are very familiar with one another. The game we covered last season in the IFA was a lopsided Patriots win, but the meeting this season in the Big East was much closer. However, the Crusaders are going to need to find a way to generate offense against a Patriots team that held them scoreless when they met last month. If they can solve this defense, perhaps they can pull off the upset and win a championship.
Talking to some of the players and coaches from both sides, Joe, these two teams have basically been meeting every year for the last decade or so. So, yes, it has been a grudge match for sure. But lately, Joe, the Patriots have really dominated the series. And you could see on your screen, Joe, how they've dominated over the entire league this year. Now, we saw these two teams play as part of the IFA last year on PDF. As you mentioned, it was a heavy-handed Patriots win. And again this season, the Patriots took the lone meeting 22-0, a pretty fitting result given the way the Patriots have played this season. They have been exceptional.
The numbers speak for themselves when it comes to what the Patriots achieved this season. An unbeaten 6-0 record in the regular season, plus a win last week. Just 16 points allowed all season, 5 shutouts in 7 games, including one in the playoffs. They've gotten it done on both sides of the ball this season, and the Crusaders will certainly have their hands full here this afternoon.
Joe, many would agree it's going to take a special performance to beat the Patriots today, but that's also what people said last week about the Crusaders' chances against the Empire State Wolfpack, who finished as the Big East's number 2 seed. But on the road against the team they fell to during the regular season, the Crusaders scored the upset and have moved on to play in this one. Joe, this team doesn't care if no one believes in them. They believe in themselves, and they firmly believe they're going to win today.
And Dave, if they didn't believe that, you would have to wonder what they are doing here. That being said, they have good reason for confidence. Not only did they beat the Wolfpack last week, but they haven't lost a game since that May 11th loss against the Patriots, who they will face today. Like when they played the Wolfpack in the regular season, they were shut out that day against the Patriots. In the playoffs against the Wolfpack, however, they found enough offense to get by, and they certainly feel that they can do that again here today.
In case you're new to Big East football, that's okay. We all are. As mentioned, this is the Big East inaugural year. And, Joe, I don't know how you feel about this one, but The one thing that really stood out to me this season, there were a lot of low-scoring, close games, a few one-score games that came right down to the final minutes. There's a pretty good deal of familiarity amongst the teams as well. It makes a game like this a game of inches and a war for 60 minutes. What's your expectations on this final day?
We've covered our share of championship games in 2 years broadcasting on PDF, and something all of those games have had in common is that they have all been highly competitive through at least 3 quarters. Teams don't make it here by mistake, and both sides know that there is no tomorrow if they lose. In terms of what we should expect in terms of X's and O's, look for the Crusaders to do everything they can to control possession for as long as they can by keeping the ball on the ground. Last time we saw these two teams face off, yards in the air were tough to come by. That was due in part to the weather. But as for the Patriots, this team can certainly score, but even the most consistent part of this team all season has been their defense. Look for the Patriots defense to make some big plays in this game and to try and force the Crusaders into desperation mode on the offensive side of the ball as early as possible.
That's right, Joe. That Patriots defense has actually scored more points than they've allowed this season, which is only 16. Who needs an offense with a defense that good? And they scored a touchdown and a safety in their last meeting against the Crusaders. Okay, that'll do it for us in the booth. When Joe and I return, we're going to go down to field level and hear from the players and coaches themselves and get a first-hand glimpse of what's in store for us today. It's the Patriots and Crusaders in the Big East Championship when we come back here on the PDF Sports Network. East Coast Trophies and Awards has been serving your awards needs since 1986 and is now a proud sponsor of the PDF Sports Network. From sports-specific trophies and plaques to corporate and business promotions and gifts, East Coast Trophies and Awards is your one-stop shop for all of your crowning achievements, and they always meet the right price. Contact Chris today at 848-223-7071 or visit them at www.eastcoastawards.com. Attention local businesses and professionals. Isn't it time to elevate your game? Now you can advertise your business or product on PDF Sports Network. Your ad will appear on all of our broadcasts, including this one. Don't have a commercial? We'll make one for you, absolutely free. What better way to showcase your product and brand while supporting the best local sports, teams, and leagues? Call now at 732-723-8189 or visit us at pdfsportsnet.com.
And welcome back to PDF Sports Network coverage of the Big East Football Championship. My name is Joe Foreman up in the commentary booth, but at this time we will throw it down to field level, where my commentary partner Dave Pizzuto is joined by some of the key figures in today's game, beginning with New York Patriots head coach Dave Collier.
With Patriots head coach Dave Collier. Coach, big game today. You guys have been undefeated this season, really have ran the table within the league, but how important is winning this one here today?
Well, I don't want to be like the Patriots, when they played the Giants, go undefeated and then get their chip. It's not an undefeated season until the season's over. This is the last game of the season. We need to win. I don't know if people know, but this is Pat and I last year coaching, period. So I'd like to go out on top, get this W, get me a ring.
Absolutely. And Coach, you've been around, obviously, this organization for a long time now. And is this the best team that you've had, the most, galvanized team that you've had in your time here?
This is the most complete team we've had. I think the energy for these guys, they feed off each other. We got a nice mix of vets and new guys. So I think all around it's the best team we've had. Young coaching staff, but I think the team helped the coaches get through it. They definitely helped me get through it. They play for each other. And that's what's most important.
It's been an excellent season for you guys throughout the year. 5 shutouts, running through the league. A great playoff win last week as well. What is it that's really clicked with this team this year that makes you so prolific?
So offense, the defense is definitely, they play shutout football. We have a quarterback who the guys trust. I think we have one of the best and deepest running backs in the league.
Right.
The running back core. So we have like 5 running backs that all contribute in their own way, and that helps the offense out big time. We have a great O-line, so that helps out a lot. You can't do nothing without the line. We got a great O-line.
All right, let's talk about your opponent today, the New York Crusaders. Very familiar face. You guys play them just about every year, some years multiple times a year. What is it about their team as far as what you have to be prepared for going into this game and getting a win today?
They don't give up. They're well coached. I think the coaching staff puts that dog in them, make sure they don't give up. They're experienced. They played. A lot of those guys played together forever, so they're used to each other, and that they gel well.
Excellent. All right, Coach. Good luck out there today.
Thank you very much.
You got it. That was head coach Dave Collier of the New York Patriots. Joe, will send it back up to you.
All right, thanks, Dave. And remaining on the Patriots sideline, we will shift our attention over to the offensive side of the ball. Dave is joined now by offensive lineman Henry Epps.
Here with Henry Epps of the New York Patriots. Henry, big game today. Obviously, you guys have had a great regular season, but what's it going to take to complete the mission and win a championship here today?
Stay focused, limit turnovers, and play to the last whistle.
Okay. And, head coach Collier said the key to this team and this offense is playing that offensive line up front. As far as your job up front, what's the mission of those 5 guys up top?
Just finish drives, complete your blocks, finish. That's the biggest thing. Just finish.
All right. Henry, as far as your opponents today, the New York Crusaders, you know them well, play them just about every single year. What is it about that team that makes them tough, and what do you have to do today in order to get past them?
They don't give up. They're motor, very high motor. Those guys, they come to play. They come to win, regardless of the outcome of the season, the record. We just got to finish, man. Like I said, that's the main thing. Finish plays, finish drives. Just win. Get this last championship for the program. That's it.
Speaking of the program, you've been a part of it now for a little while, 4 years. So tell me about what a championship would mean to you personally.
Me personally, it'll be a great finish to my career. I've been playing 19 years altogether, 4 years with the Patriots, so why not finish it with a chip?
All right, Henry, good luck today.
Thank you.
All right, Henry Epps, part of that anchor of that offensive line for the New York Patriots. Joe will send it back up to you.
From the offensive side of the ball to the defensive side of the ball, Dave is joined now by linebacker Keon Barrett.
Here with Keon Barron, New York Patriots, kind of a centerpiece of that defense. Of course, plays in the nickel packages. Keon, first of all, you had a big fumble recovery last time you guys played the Crusaders. Tell me a little bit about how that felt.
I've only scored 1 semi-pro touchdown. Everybody else been called back. So it was a great thing. It's the second one. It was the second one in my career, and I loved it.
Now, speaking of scoring on defense, your defense has actually scored more points than the other team has scored on offense this season. The defense has just been amazing. What has been the key ingredient to making this defense so prolific?
Our front 4, shout out to them. They're dogs, all 4 of them. Even the rotation players, dogs. And it also helps that our secondary is the way it is. We got a lot of young players, new players in our secondary. They help out a lot. The air offense, it's a lot of air raid offense. Us linebackers, we don't got to worry about anything. That's really it.
All right. So, Keon, tell me, this is a team that you faced before. You know them pretty well. You've matched up with them a few times now. Tell me about what you have to do to neutralize them, come out of here with a win.
It's really their quarterback. Their quarterback, Porter, he's good. He can throw the ball, he can run the ball, he's dynamic. We contain him. We stop their offense perfectly fine. Our offense is going to score. We know that. Our defense is just going to have to come out and play ball.
All right, so Keon, last time you had a touchdown against this team. Tell me about your personal goals here for today.
Another touchdown and more stops. That's it.
All right. Keon Barron, linebacker here for the New York Patriots, looking to get themselves a chip here this afternoon. Joe, we'll throw it back up to you. When we come back, we'll talk to the Crusaders.
All right, we've heard from the Patriots, so Dave will hurry his way over to the Crusaders sideline. And waiting for Dave there, our head coach and defensive coordinator of the New York Crusaders, Ori Isaacs and Mel Brown.
Hey, Joe, I am here with Coach Ori and Coach Mel, head coach, defensive coach here for the Crusaders. Guys, first and foremost, I'll start with you, Coach Ori. Tell me a little bit about that win last week, that high feeling of getting you here today.
Well, it was it's something that we've been working towards for a very long time. We've made playoffs in the past and have always lost. Coincidentally, we've always lost to the Patriots in our playoff losses. So it felt good to actually get our first playoff win in 10 years. Head to the championship. We've worked hard. We've had seasons where we've won no games. We've had seasons where we won 1 game. And you get me, where the offense put up no points and everything like that. So now our offense, we seem to have got it clicking. and got it going, especially with the help of our quarterback, Charles Fish McCray. He's electric. You get me? You see him, as long as he's in there, he got the poise, he got the wherewithal to know what he's doing in these situations, and he listens and everything like that. So I'm very, regardless of win, lose, draw, we making strides in our program.
Absolutely, Coach. And that was a great win last week. Of course, would be even better with a win here today. And Coach Mel, you're going to have a lot to do with that, having to stop that Patriots team, a team that puts up a lot of points, has a lot of dynamic playmakers all over the field. Tell me a little bit, without giving away the X's and O's, what's the game plan against a team like this?
We got to make it uncomfortable for them. That's the main thing, to make it uncomfortable and get them out of their stride. They're in the stride. They are undefeated. So we have to make it uncomfortable. That's the key word today, is uncomfortability.
Okay. And head coach Ori, this is a team that's pitched 5 shutouts this season on the opposite side of the ball. What's the secret sauce here to getting some points on the board against this team?
O-line. I'll just leave it at that. O-line. O-line is the secret sauce. Is the biggest thing in order to get for us to get into the end zone. Is O-line.
And finally, guys, on paper anyway, they're undefeated. You guys were not supposed to win last week, according to the world of popular opinion. Does it help a team like yours to know that you're kind of playing a little bit with house money, or you're trying to defy people's, ideas of what's supposed to happen in a game like this?
You said it exactly right. We're playing with house money. We're playing with house money ever since the NYPD game. Everybody done gave us the bed like we supposed to lay down. We didn't, and we here. And hopefully we can put on a great show for everybody.
People forget how difficult the schedule you guys play and the preparation you guys make, coming into this game. Coach, for you personally, what would a win today mean?
Man, that would be the culmination of 10 years. I've been with the Crusaders since year 1. I played since year 1. Been here through all the struggles, the ups and downs, the endless hours of phone calls, the endless meetings. That'll be it. I might have to call it a day after that.
Well, hopefully we'll talk to you guys after the game today, maybe with a championship trophy in your hand. Good luck, guys, today. All right, Joe, we will throw it back up to you.
Dave left Coach hanging there, but I can see from up here in the box he got that handshake after the interview concluded. I'm sure Dave didn't see him, and will smile about it when he gets back up here in the booth. But with just a few minutes before kickoff, Dave has one last conversation. He catches up with Crusaders quarterback Fish McCray.
Okay, Joe, I am here with Fish McCray, starting quarterback and star quarterback here for the New York Crusaders. Fish, I asked your coaches this. I'll ask you as well. Tell me a little bit about that big victory last week and what it did for the confidence of this team.
I would say that it boosted our confidence 100%. Going into the game, I did. I had the confidence knowing that we was going to win the game. I didn't play the first time, so I had revenge going back into that game. Same way we got today, I want to win this game as well. To be honest with you, they're not as good as they seem. It's just a lot of teams make mistakes playing them because they big in size, and at the end of the day, we got to be mistake-free today.
Yeah, and that was a point that I was going to make as well. Last time you played them, you guys did turn the ball over, a great deal. It's what really helped them win the game. So how important is making sure you guys protect the football today, keep the possession and the ball in your hands?
It's absolutely key, because today, if we play mistake-free football, we actually have a chance of winning the game. Last time we played them, they had a safety, which led to 2 points. They had a high snap over the head, which led to them scoring again. And if you be technical, they would have scored 8 points in that game, or 6. So we only beat ourselves when we make mistakes.
All right. Now, Fish, this team has only given up 2 touchdowns all season long. I asked your coach this as well. I'll ask you, what's the secret ingredient here to getting past this vaunted defense, putting some points on the board? You got to be able to score in order to win.
Got to keep them disciplined. Because we know they're going to come with the all-out blitz. They focus on outpowering teams. You got to keep them on their toes. You got to keep them. They got to play smart today. The game today is being smart. If you're not smart today and don't make no mistakes, I think we actually going to have them not blitzing as much as they normally would.
All right, Fish, good luck today.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Joe, we'll throw it back up to you.
Great job as always, Dave. And while Dave makes his way back up to the booth, we will throw it to break. And on the other side of this word from our sponsors, the 2024 Big East Football Championship, as the number 3 seed New York Crusaders take on the number 1 seeded New York Patriots.
Attention, local businesses and professionals. Isn't it time to elevate your game? Now you can advertise your business or product on PDF Sports Network. Your ad will appear on all of our broadcasts, including this one. Don't have a commercial? We'll make one for you, absolutely free. What better way to showcase your product and brand while supporting the best local sports, teams, and leagues? Call now at 732-723-8189 or visit us at pdfsportsnet.com.
Welcome back to St. Peter's High School, Staten Island, New York, the site of the Big East Football Championship here. David Pizzuto alongside Joe Foreman. And Joe, fresh off of talking to the coaches and some of the players, both teams very well prepared, know each other very well, and it should make for an exciting final.
And familiarity always makes for a very interesting game because you know that these two teams have seen each other not only this season, but for several seasons dating back many years as well. And the adjustments that you would typically see in maybe a regular season game at halftime might not look exactly the same as the adjustments you see in a championship game. Obviously, there's the win-or-go-home aspect of a championship game that we're going to see here today. But the last time that you and I saw these two teams face off, that game was certainly impacted by inclement weather. It was very windy, and it was very tough to pass the football. But as I mentioned during the pregame, plays made on the defensive side of the ball, especially on the side of the Patriots, who have a defense that has scored more points than they've allowed. As you mentioned, points scored on that side of the ball are something that the Crusaders can't afford to allow here today. And perhaps having gotten a look at this Patriots defense earlier in the season, they may have taken a step towards solving that defense here in today's championship.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the, of course, sub-stories to that regular season matchup, of course, was that the Patriots did score a touchdown on defense. They also had a touchdown, Joe, called back on them via penalty. Otherwise, they would have had 2 scores and a safety on top of that. So their defense was just as much involved with the scoring as their offense. That was a 20-0 game at halftime, Joe, and then scoreless throughout the rest of that game. Now, should stand to say, too, that, Fish McCray did not play in that regular season game, the quarterback who we just spoke to with the Crusaders. So naturally, this is a game that he is eyeing. Of course, the Patriots might have been missing a gun or two as well, but for the most part, both teams are fully staffed for this game, and both teams do feel like they are going to put their best foot forward. Joe, understanding the matchup, understanding the history between these two teams, what do you think are your keys to the game for the challengers in this game, the New York Crusaders?
I touched on it during our open. If you're the Crusaders in this game, you have to try and maintain ball control and dominate possession in this game. It's easier said than done, especially against this Patriots defense. But if they can put together drives where they pick up a first down, 2, maybe 3 at the very least, they can keep the ball away from this Patriots offense and hopefully keep the scoring down in this game, because I think a high-scoring game would certainly benefit the Patriots, certainly would, looking at the finals this season going up and down the schedule for both teams as we did during the pregame. But I think first and foremost for the Crusaders, they can't give up points while they're on the offensive side of the ball. They can't afford to turn it over, and a big part of that will be their quarterback, Fish McCray. I was watching him in warm-ups, and he was looking good throwing the ball down the field. He was taking some reps from about the 30-yard line, throwing some go routes toward the end zone, and his deep ball looked pretty good. So the Patriots will have to contend with that. They can't afford, the Crusaders that is, to force passes into tight windows and to take unnecessary chances early in the game, as the Crusaders right now are taking the field with some pomp and circumstance. The drum line is out, and I'm not sure what you'd call that. It looks like the smoke you'd see during a gender reveal, as the field now is being covered in pink smoke. But a very interesting entrance for the Crusaders as they take the field ahead of this championship game.
Yeah, Crusader red. You see it on your screen. Amidst the smoke there, that is the rest of the Crusaders team lining up behind them. The captains are at midfield getting ready for the coin toss. And Joe, we look on the other side, the favorites, the Patriots, 7-0, of course, have been running the table. They've only given up 2 defensive scores, and they're also playing with an increased amount of motivation because team owner David Patterson, you heard head coach Dave Collier say it as well, this is their final games with the Patriots. They are stepping away and retiring from the game. Now, does that mean the Patriots are done? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see what happens in their future. But this could be the final game in New York Patriots history. So understanding that, there's a little bit of urgency to win this game, and they want to end it with a championship, their second.
Well, Dave Patterson and the Patriots have quite the legacy already, and I got a chance to catch up with Dave for a moment on the way in. He has those 2 championship rings on one hand. I'm like, Dave, nice ring. Then he turned his hand to reveal a second ring on another finger. So he'd like to add one more here today. And in order to do that, his team needs to do what they've done all season. They've been dominant on the defensive side of the ball, and if they can slow down this Crusaders offense as they did in the first meeting, there's no reason why they shouldn't win this game. And obviously, you hope to avoid those costly mistakes. A lot of those we see that come in games like this come with a blown coverage or on special teams. It's that one game-changing play that will often see a team that came in as a favorite find themselves behind the 8 ball a bit. And if you're the Patriots, you'd like to avoid those critical game-changing mistakes. That goes for any team, but especially a team that comes in as the 1 seed, that comes in unbeaten, and that comes into this game as the clear favorite.
And you could see the wave of captains and team leaders here for this ceremonious coin toss. An important play in the game as well. What you do winning this coin toss, do you get the ball first? Do you look to make a statement offensively, put points on the board right away, win the field position battle? So the game within a game starts right now with this coin toss. We'll get you the result of that in a moment as they go over the ground rules here and everything else affiliated with the game. But the Patriots are considered the home team, and so the Crusaders will call the coin toss.
We're in our own backyard here on Staten Island, Dave. For the first 31 years of my life, I lived on Staten Island. That recently changed about 3 weeks ago, but I have never called a game in St. Peter's High School. In fact, this is the first time that I've entered this facility, though, when I took, this is really dating me, but way back when I graduated elementary school, I took the tax exam. I was offered a scholarship to St. Peter's High School, but I ended up going to Staten Island Tech instead. So there is a backstory with me in this facility. The first game that we've covered here on PDF, and our engineer today, Nick Bavona, a frequent guest here in this press box, scoreboard operator and public address announcer for the Eagles. He covers some St. Peter's football as well. So a lot of PDF connections to this facility, as this facility does have the pleasure of hosting the inaugural Big East Championship football game. And it is a great facility, extensive bleachers, very nice turf field, and we are still awaiting the results of the coin toss. Now, in terms of the clock visibility, not great from up here in the press box. We can see it. It's to our right. 15-minute quarters in this game. The clock will not be on the screen. However, we will update you on how much time is left as often as we can throughout the game. Typically, every time we have a stoppage or a return from break, we'll update you with how much time is left on the clock. It doesn't look like the coin toss has yet been completed, as the officials may be going over some pregame procedures with the two teams, but it looks like 6 captains out there for each side awaiting the coin toss. And you said it, Dave. What comes of the coin toss also often plays a big role in the outcome of these games. And sometimes we've seen the underdog come in, win the toss, and then choose to receive when conventional wisdom often says you'd like to kick and get the ball to start the second half. We've seen underdogs come in, elect to receive, and then hit the defense with what we consider anyway a big trick play. We saw it back in the winter in the EFA championship. A trick play started that game, a halfback pass to open things up, set up the underdog Empire State Demon Knights on the goal line. They jumped out to an early lead in that game, but it was the New York Bears, the ultimate winner of that EFA championship. The last championship game that we covered here on the PDF Sports Network. That was a great one. We hope for more of the same here today.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned getting the ball first in their regular season matchup. It was the Patriots who got the ball first and went right down the field and took the lead on their first possession and really forced the Crusaders to have to play come-from-behind football pretty much from the jump. And Marquise Jernigan throwing 2 touchdown passes in that game, both, of course, from some distance outside the red zone. And then it was the defense from there that really dictated the way the game went. And Joe, backing up to what you mentioned about St. Peter's High School, we're soon to have even more connections to St. Peter's High School, as this field and this complex is the home field for the Staten Island Hurricanes in the Big East. And we learned a little earlier today that we will be the official broadcast network for the Shaolin Hurricanes in 2025. They're changing their first name from Staten Island to Shaolin. And we are going to be their official broadcast network for the 2025 Big East season. And so it will be the Patriots who will get the ball first, as the Crusaders won the toss, Joe, and elected to defer.
Conventional wisdom.
So there we go. And they want their defense to take the field first against the team that put up points against them on the first drive of the game the last time out. So the game within a game has already begun.
And it's interesting to see the decision-making process behind electing to kick or receive early in a game. And we said it, the Patriots defense, a defense that can certainly create points. So if you're the Crusaders, I certainly understand putting their offense out there first and perhaps forcing an early mistake. And I think that's obviously the best-case scenario. Easier said than done. But if you kick it away and create a turnover or get a stop deep in the offense's territory, that really sets you up for success in a given game and puts you in the driver's seat early. How long you can stay there, that's the big question mark, and we'll see if the Crusaders' offense can do enough in this game to keep them close. The defense did enough to keep them in the game last time they faced the Patriots. 20 points in the first half. That was all of the scoring. Maybe it's been 22 points, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, they didn't give up anything in the second half. So if they can do that from the jump in this game, that sets this team up with a chance to pull off the upset.
Yeah, and so often on these broadcasts we concentrate on the star players, of course, the talent positions, if you will. But both coaches made mention of the fact that this game is going to be won in the trenches. The offensive lines are going to win this game. We heard head coach Collier mention they feel they have the best offensive line in the league. That's why they are here. And we heard Coach Isaacs mention, hey, what's the secret sauce on scoring points against this Patriots team? The offensive line has to play well. So we are going to pay special attention to that during the broadcast as well. And, that war in the trenches, as we mentioned even in the pregame, these wars for 60 minutes, that's where they get won and lost. And we'll keep our eye on that for sure.
And it's great to see that we have very extensive rosters for both of these teams. We don't expect to have any players missing off of our rosters today, which often complicates the call a bit. However, that gives us the opportunity as well to highlight those matchups in the trenches. Tackle versus end, or offensive tackle versus end to be clear, and then center versus defensive tackle, the guards versus the defensive tackles. You get a chance to really hone in on those matchups when you have extensive rosters like this and see how those matchups develop and how adjustments are made over the course of a game. So it's great that we have those extensive rosters, which will allow us to do that here today.
Kadeem Wilson is back, one of the deep men, return men for the Patriots. But, Joe, number 10, we do not have him on our roster. Now we'll look to pick him up.
I jinxed it.
You sure did. And you say it. The commentators.
We do have two 11s here, Dave, so is that possible?
Well, I'll look at I'll try and see it.
All right, well, Dave looks to gather some of that information, keep you abreast on the action. I'm sure Dave will rejoin us shortly as we await opening kickoff in this 2024 Big East Championship game.
All right, I might look over from time to time at Earl's roster to my left, as there were some changes to the Patriots, but we'll get them as we go. And this one is going to go to that right side, end over end at the 20-yard line. It's fielded there, and running from left to right are the Patriots, looking to gain that edge to the 30, the 35, blocking, opening up. And the Crusaders get there in numbers in time at the 45-yard line, but the Patriots are going to have good starting field.
Well, I said it, Dave. Big plays can certainly come on special teams in these championship games. Don't overlook that third unit. Offense, defense, special teams, and choosing to reverse field on that kick return paid off in a big way. The blocking was very solid, and that sets up the Patriots with great starting field position on their opening drive.
So Marquise Jernigan, the stalwart at quarterback pretty much the entire season for the Patriots. The offense has been great, the defense outstanding, and they haven't needed to put up too many points this season in order to claim victories, as coming in late and checking in late is Malik Wright, getting into that offensive huddle. So officially underway, and Joe, there was a penalty on that first, and it was on the Crusaders, a 15-yard penalty after the play was over. Either it was a late hit out of bounds or there was something going on. Yep.
I think I saw it. There were words being exchanged on the Patriots sideline between one of the Patriots and one of the Crusaders. I think one of the Crusaders ended up well out of bounds on that Patriots sideline.
There were too many men on the field for the Crusaders. It's going to start the Patriots at the 45 of the Crusaders. And they go to Montgomery off the left side, tries to get the edge, is shoved out of bounds promptly by Brian Augustin for the Crusaders, but not before a minimal gain of about 3 yards on the play.
So the too many men on the field resulted in a 15-yard penalty?
Illegal participation.
Ah. That is a huge error early in this game by the Crusaders. Even if they get a stop on this drive now, they don't have great field position on their first possession.
And the Patriots are technically already in 4-down territory. 2nd down, 7 yards to go. Jernigan operating out of the backfield. He can run. He is getting converged on, trying to escape, but will not. Backed up to the 50-yard line. And the first one there was Anthony Williams.
And that was a screen pass that the Patriots were trying to set up along the far sideline. The Crusaders read it very well. They had 3 white jerseys in the area of the receiver who was looking to catch that ball, and Jernigan obviously had no opportunity to throw as he was chased all the way back to midfield. You'll see it here on the replay. The blocks were set up on the outside, but with the Crusaders in man coverage, there wasn't much that Jernigan could do there. He's a mobile quarterback, not mobile enough to escape 3 defenders.
3rd and 20 coming up here for the Patriots here. So we just said 4-down territory, maybe not. If they get held up here, they may elect to punt. But before that comes the big 3rd down. We know the Patriots can work the ball over top of the defense with their weapons all over. Jernigan passing all the way. Middle of the field, extending was right, but he could not come up with the catch.
Well, that one stings if you're the Patriots. That would have made it, it looks to be about a 4th and 10. And from the 40, I think there's a chance they would have gone for it. Obviously, you have to factor in for potential yardage after the catch. I didn't see much of an opportunity there for that. But Wright, I'm sure, believes that he should have brought that pass in, and now we'll see what the Patriots do. You would presume that they're going to punt it away here. And something we didn't mention during our pregame and looking ahead to this matchup is the kicking game.
Yep.
Now, most teams carry a punter. You need to carry a punter, though. We've covered a lot of arena football where the teams do not punt in some circumstances because of the facility and others due to strategy. But kicking also involves those field goals. And late in a game, the ability to kick a field goal could be game-changing. If it's a tie game, you often don't see field goals attempted in a situation where you have a shot at a 1st down trailing.
Omar DeBerry will be the punter, wearing number 10. And taking it the other way is Foley. Foley works to his left, gets bottled up at close to the 30-yard line, just shy of it. But getting back to that 3rd down play, you had Anthony Parkins bearing down on Wright, but that's one that he could have and should have had and would have made for a different decision. But all things considered, the Crusaders get what they want, Joe, a 3-and-out on the first drive of the game for the Patriots.
And it goes without saying, Dave, the play calling certainly could have been different were it not for the big penalty on the kickoff. But, man, if the Crusaders got that 3-and-out, including a 10-yard sack with the Patriots getting started all the way back around their own 40, 45-yard line, that really shifts field position in their favor early in this game. Instead, the penalty still keeps the Patriots in control of the field position game. And in a scoreless game between 2 teams that we've seen can play strong defense, the field position game is of paramount importance.
So now the Crusaders get their first turn. McCray, of course, as we mentioned in the pregame, starting quarterback, did not play in that game against the Patriots during the regular season. Deshaun McCombs is to his left. They work it in the flat, in the slot. And Crusaders perhaps getting back to the line of scrimmage, maybe got a half a yard on that, but we'll call it a 2nd down.
Well, Dave, taking a look at the alignment for the Patriots defensively pre-snap, there was only one receiver on the field for the Crusaders there who was not being pressed at the line of scrimmage. Shaheem Burnett and Damick Thompson of the Patriots, their defensive backs on the outside, were in press coverage against the wideouts. So the only immediate throw that was available on that play was that pass completed in the slot. That puts a lot of pressure on your nickel corner to make that tackle. And up to the task on that play was the nickelback. I believe that was David Fisher in coverage.
That was Joshua Jefferson on the last catch. We just got his number. And the give up ahead will gain about 2 or 3 as McCombs is able to dive forward. But 3rd and long, Joe, nonetheless.
Well, if you're the Crusaders here, obviously you do not want to open the game with a 3-and-out. A good punt could erase the damage done by a quick 3-and-out to start the game. But this is a 3rd down and manageable. It's on the longer side, 3rd and 7. But this is certainly a 1st down you can convert early in this game. And if you do, it keeps the ball out of the hands of the Patriots offense that much longer and earns you a small victory against this defense early in the game.
They'll go with 4 wide receivers. And they're going to go on the near side in the direction of Foley, but that is well overthrown. Foley might have had a short step on Shaheem Burnett the other way, but that was well over his head.
A big opportunity early in this game, as Foley certainly had a step. And we saw Fish McCray throwing those deep balls quite a bit during pregame, as I mentioned earlier. And those were on target in the pregame. That's not quite the same as throwing from a collapsing pocket with big defensive linemen closing in on you, and that pass falls harmlessly to the ground, incomplete, forcing the Crusaders to punt. But you can't be too upset with the start to this game if you're the Crusaders, especially after that penalty. They had an opportunity to convert on a big play there. The ball was just a bit too long.
And they showed 3 different looks to the Patriots on those plays. Pass out in the flat, run through the A-gap, and then trying to take the top off the defense as we have a timeout called by the Crusaders. So the first timeout has been used here on a special teams play. And that's something we've seen a lot too, Joe, in the coverage that we've done all over the semi-pro world, is a lot of timeouts get taken on special teams plays, punts, punt returns. Just have to make sure everybody's in the right place.
Yeah, and you'd hate to have a catastrophic special teams play go against you. So you completely understand making sure that everyone is aligned correctly and that you have the correct personnel out there. That being said, you hate to burn a timeout in that scenario this early in the game. You can't afford to have a mistake beat you, but you'd hate to have something like this occur in the second half and then not have a timeout late in the game when you need it most.
12:30 remaining in the first quarter. And on 4th and 7, obviously the Crusaders fixing to punt here and still getting some late substitutions on and off the field. Some confusion there, as now trotting in is Cruzavis Bing coming in for the kicking team, and it will be David Byrne to punt it away. He's still barking out some orders there on where guys should be lining up. Moving over from right to left is Danny Aladubi.
Clock still sits at 12 and a half minutes to go in this opening quarter.
It is Kadeem Wilson back for the Patriots, standing at just outside his own 35-yard line. Dangerous element to this Patriots team as well. Playmakers in the open field. Punt is up. It's a good one. Hangs up for some time and getting there just a tad early was Cruzavis Bing, who came in. Now we've got some pushing and shoving going on. So they'll try to get this sorted out. Now, Bing got there early. There's no question. We'll probably see another look at it, maybe even slow down, Joe.
And, Dave, I think he got there more than a bit early. I think he was trying to anticipate the ball's arrival, but he was way early and didn't even give Wilson a chance to receive that punt. The ball landed behind where Bing delivered that hit, but despite the fact that you're going to give the Patriots 15 yards here, that does send a message early.
Yep. I wonder if Wilson was calling for the fair catch. Now, that's the one part that I didn't pick up either. And if that's the case, then Bing has no business hitting him at all. And it was no fair catch.
No, certainly not.
So perhaps if you're Bing, you're coming back to your bench saying, well, I thought he was going to field it and time it right. But nevertheless, Joe, it looks like for the second straight time, the Patriots are going to start inside of Crusaders' field position. And a lot of drawing back and forth between the two sidelines. But in any event, the Patriots are going to be back in business. And I do see that Wilson is right back out there. He's the slot receiver on the right side. So However heavy the hit was, he is okay. And the Patriots will look to get back to work.
Well, the Crusaders handled this well in the opening drive, forcing the 3 and out after a 15-yard personal foul. Here moves the Patriots up for a second time. We'll see if the Crusaders defense can stand strong again.
Jernigan with Montgomery to his left, and he gives underneath to Montgomery. He does gain the sideline at the 40, the 30, the 20. He's on his way and gets bounced out at about the 15-yard line. Montgomery turned on the Jets.
Well, if you're the Patriots, you love to see that early in this game, a big play on the ground. I mentioned it during the pregame that yards through the air were tough to come by last time we saw these two teams play one another. Points were tough to come by when they met earlier this year, especially on the side of the Crusaders. And if you're the Crusaders in this spot, you hate to see a big play go against you on the ground early in this game. That really sets the tone for the Patriots offensively, and they've asserted now that they are going to be able to run the football.
And the ball has been spotted at the 11-yard line, so it's 1st and 10, and this is Montgomery up the middle, being shoved towards the goal line, and he might be just short, Joe. But if he is, that'll be a 1st down and goal.
Well, the Patriots will be right on the doorstep here, Dave. It looks like there are inches between the nose of that football and the goal line.
And it is a 1st down. So Montgomery, after 2 extraordinary runs, he'll actually stay in the game. Was fixing to come out, but stayed in. First run was for 35 yards. Second one was for 10. And the Patriots are in a golden position here. 1st down and goal from the 1. Jernigan with a lot of options here, and we have a whistle as there was movement up front. And it will be a timeout. So timeout called by the Patriots. That's their first timeout called. And they'll talk it over before running their play.
Well, you thought initially there might have been some pre-snap movement, and in a spot like this, with inches between the nose of that football and the end zone, you have to avoid pre-snap penalties. And you can pretty much call anything you want here on the goal line. You can go with the quarterback keeper, a running play. Unlikely we'll see them put the ball in the air here. You can go with your heaviest package and try and run it in. You can do just about anything in this spot on 1st down if you're the Patriots in terms of running the football. So we'll see if they do indeed keep it on the ground. I would presume that they would. But the Crusaders defense now put in nearly an impossible position early in this game. They are as backed up into their own end zone as you can be with goal to go, and it is 1st down. So we'll see if they can make a huge stand in this spot. The Patriots poised to go up a score early.
Well, obviously the play got whistled dead before they could run it, but it did look like that was going to be Jernigan taking it himself. At least those were his first couple of steps that he made before that play got whistled down. Now, Malik Sanders did get into the backfield to meet him potentially, but that looked like it was going to be the play call on 1st down. We'll see what happens after the timeout. And this is where that offensive line push becomes so instrumental that both teams spoke about during pregame.
Battle in the trenches going to be at the forefront right here.
Jernigan will continue to work out of the shotgun. Snap was low. He does take it himself. Powers through to the end zone. That's a touchdown. Marquise Jernigan puts the Patriots on the board.
And we'll have to take another look at that one, Dave. I think he was in without a doubt. The Crusaders thought they came away with the football.
Really?
And we'll see if there's any video evidence of that. Now, Jernigan had 2 backs in the backfield helping him along across the goal line, along with those big offensive linemen.
Yeah, Tyreek Mines was in on the play as well as Isaiah Williams.
The ball came out for sure. The question is, was he across the goal line? I'm inclined to say he was.
Well, it's 6-0. Patriots have scored, and it's time for the 2-point conversion.
Also a very low snap.
Patriots were 1 for 3 on 2-point conversions in their regular season game against the Crusaders. Once again, low snap. Jernigan will move himself to the right. There is a flag down. Now, Jernigan is in. The 2-point conversion was successful, but we'll have to see. This is going to be a holding on the Patriots. So that'll back things up and keep the score at 6-0.
Well, obviously, if you're the Crusaders, given how the first matchup went, you wanted to keep the Patriots off the scoreboard for as long as possible in this game. And we're not even 4 minutes in yet. There's still 11:15 on the clock, and the Patriots have already gotten onto the scoreboard.
Now, Joe, we've just been passed a note that the official time is being kept on the field. So
okay.
We have a roundabout time here, but we are not official up here. In any event, just over 11 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Jernigan will go back to pass here on this one, looking for the corner fade and elevating and unable to make the catch was Wilson in the corner of the end zone. So the 2-point conversion unsuccessful. The score will remain 6-0.
I wanted to give credit where it was due on the coverage. Unfortunately, we don't have a number 13 on our Crusaders roster, but there was a jump ball there in the end zone. Highly contested, big collision in the air as well as we're getting that passed along right now.
Larry Lawrence in on the coverage, who's wearing number 13. Number 88.
Taking a look at that replay, Dave, there was an initial signal on the field that was a good catch initially.
Yeah, but I think it was pretty clear.
I agree.
Wilson
I agree.
did not come down with the ball.
I agree.
So, Joe, just a note, number 13 is Larry Lawrence. Number 89 for the Crusaders, Justin Black, is wearing number 88 today as well. That's another number change we've been given. If we get more, of course, we'll relay them in. So, Joe, you know, we talk about it in sports like soccer and hockey, and some teams are so good defensively that one goal has to hold up, right? You think that one goal could win you the game. Well, in a game like this, where the Patriots have only given up 2 touchdowns all season, one score might be enough, and this lead might be a comfortable one now if you're the Patriots.
There's no question about it. This defense all season long has been phenomenal, and we didn't see anything to the contrary on that first drive on the side of the Patriots. And a pair of big penalties against the Crusaders really put their backs up against the wall in terms of field position. The offense didn't do anything to squander away field position, but those penalties killer early in this one and really placed a heavy burden on that defense. They held the first drive, could not hold on the second drive, and it's early enough in this game where the offense can stick to the game plan. No need to go into desperation mode, but put another touchdown on the board for the Patriots. All of a sudden, the offense has to really kick it up a notch. If you're the Crusaders, you'd love to try and keep pace and match that touchdown on this drive.
Grillo gets into that one and it ends up at about the 25-yard line, and cutting up, getting past the 40 was Jefferson. And that's where the Crusaders will start. So, for what it's worth, their best starting field position here of the first quarter. Unofficially 11 minutes to go in this first quarter.
You said it, Dave. Best starting field position early in this game, and we've seen this quite a bit covering the semi-professional game. A lot of drives start near plus territory, certainly past the 40-yard line of the offense. So this drive will start at about the 42, and at the very least, the Crusaders would look to pick up a first down on this drive, and if they do need to punt it away, perhaps they get a favorable bounce, and they can pin the Patriots back and swing field position back into their favor moving forward in this game.
Yeah, they've only run the 3 offensive plays so far on their opening drive, a 3-and-out to start things, and now the pressure firmly on the offense to get a response. The give inside and cutting up and getting minimal yards is McCombs on his second carry. Maybe a yard on the play.
And not much on that one. They do give him about a yard and a half. And I think even though that play doesn't go for much, avoiding negative plays on early downs is key. If you have to run the ball, hopefully you're able to find some open real estate in the ground game. But even if you can't, it keeps the clock moving. It's still just a one-possession game, and you have the opportunity here, if you're the Crusaders, to try and keep the ball out of the hands of this Patriots offense, now trailing by 6. And hopefully, if you're the Crusaders, later in this game, your defense makes a play that can help you out a bit.
2nd down and 9 coming up. Tucking it down, keeping it, is McCray, and he gets bottled up once again after a minimal gain, maybe a gain of 2 on the play. First one there to make the play was Jay Figueroa. Joe, we just got our first official clock in. 7:30 remaining and counting in the first quarter.
All right, so we're at the midway point of quarter number 1 and counting down here in this 2024 Big East Championship. And once again, it's 3rd and long for the Crusaders, this time at 3rd and 8. Last drive, they faced 3rd and 7. So the Patriots defense doing what they've done all season, keeping offenses in 3rd and long, making it tough. They've given up nothing on the ground so far in this game, and we'll see if perhaps the Crusaders try and air it out down the field again. That opening was there on that opening drive.
It was, and we'll see if they can work something underneath right at the sticks here. And that snap goes awry, and having to go back and grab it was McCray. He's able to survey at least enough to throw it out of bounds to no one in particular. He was outside the pocket. It did go beyond the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down.
And the Crusaders narrowly avoided disaster there, Dave, but a good play by McCray. Not only did he scoop that ball up and avoid the pass rush chasing after him and that loose football, but he was able to get a throw-off out of bounds that reached well beyond the line of scrimmage. That goes as an incomplete pass on the stat sheet, but that could have also gone to 6 points the other way. And, Dave, had they allowed 6 points there while in possession of the football, that completely derails whatever game plan you came into this matchup with, trailing by 2 scores.
That's exactly how Keon Barron scored the last time these two teams played, on a snap that went awry. It went into the end zone, and Barron came up with it, scored his first semi-pro touchdown, and was able to put pretty much a punctuation mark on that first half. And we have a timeout called by the Crusaders, who once again, Joe, for the second straight drive, have been forced to call timeout on 4th down, and with their punt unit heading onto the field.
It stings to do it once, even more so now, needing to do that a second time. If you're the Crusaders, 3rd and long obviously sets you up in a situation where you anticipate on the sideline that the punting unit might be required if you don't convert on 3rd down, of course. And knowing that, it's hard to imagine how twice in 1 quarter you'd have to call a timeout in those spots. But the Crusaders will talk it over here, and they need a quality punt in the worst way right now. They've gone 3 and out twice. Their defense stood on the Patriots' first drive of the game, but New York, behind a huge running play, was able to get on the board for the first time this afternoon on their second drive, and that's something you hate to see if you're the Crusaders. If the Patriots can get going on the ground, that makes things a lot more difficult on you defensively. If you have to respect the ground game, that immediately opens things up in the passing game in a big way.
So if you're a Crusaders fan, of course the one solace here is that we're still very early in this game, unofficially a little over 5.5 minutes to go here in quarter number 1, but they have yet to get a first down on their 2 drives, so they will go 3 and out for the second straight time. And Byrne will fix the punt here. And this time, the Patriots send out a new punt returner. Fortunately, we do not have a number 10 on our Patriots roster. Now that one is skied up, but there was a flag. And we'll get the official call here. False start on the offense. They'll back them up 5 yards. So, Joe, that's coming out of a timeout.
Yeah, and those hurt, and they add up over the course of a game. I think 5 yards, you're already punting. You're not backed up against your own end zone. You might chalk that one up as negligible. But those penalties add up over the course of a game, and they certainly weigh heavily on the field position battle. And early in this game, the field position battle and, of course, the scoring has been in favor of the Patriots, with the Crusaders still looking for some life on offense.
Yeah, and you say, well, what's the difference, 4th and 12, 4th and 7? But considering the fact that the Patriots have opened up on the Crusaders side of the field twice here, those 5 yards could be big. High snap, taken down, and very nearly blocked on the play, but Byrne got off a really good punt. And here comes number 10 the other way. Straight up the heart of the special teams defense, and he is able to gain the Crusaders side of the field and then some. Gets pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line, and the Patriots are going to have excellent field position for the 3rd straight drive.
And the punter was the last line of defense there, Dave. David Byrne was able to push the return man out of bounds, and that saves a touchdown, though there wasn't a lot of room along that sideline. If Byrne isn't there, that's a clear path to the end zone for the return man, so good effort play there by the offensive and defensive lineman for the Crusaders. Also their punter, as he was able to get over and chase down the return man, as you'll see here on the replay. It's very easy to get caught watching when you're the punter in those spots, and all of a sudden you see the blocking developing and the return man accelerate up the field, and now you're on your toes trying to chase him toward the sideline and save 6 points.
So Jernigan comes back out again, looking to put another short drive together to the result of some points. This time the give is underneath to Pascal. Pascal strung over to the right side, is able to gain the edge and get about 5 yards on the play. Hard yards for Pascal.
Great backside pursuit on that play by Anthony Williams. He came around the edge and was able to chase the back down. Made an emphatic tackle on that play as well. As we have more roster notes being passed along.
Number 43, DeAndre Sapp, is now wearing number 10. He is the young man who ran back that punt just a few moments ago, so number switch for him.
Pieces coming together on the roster.
2nd down and 5. The give, once again, it's underneath. It's Montgomery, other side now. To the left, looks to gain the edge. Does. Ball came out, but late as he was tossed out of bounds. That should be good enough for the first down. It is.
And the Patriots have looked to attack this Crusaders defense sideline to sideline in the ground game. They haven't favored either sideline, and they've been willing to run between the tackles and outside the tackles. And so far, the Patriots are winning that battle up front, holding the edge for their backs, who've been able to get some nice gains toward the sidelines.
Yep, when you run it to both sides of the field like that, Joe, you pretty much negate the run blitz because you just don't know where it's going to go next. You start to overcommit to the left, you could bounce it over to the right, and vice versa. And really, the Patriots have been doing it just about all with the run here. I don't think they threw a pass on their previous drive, and they open up here with two straight runs. There's a throw in and out of the hands. It's still up, and it's intercepted by the Crusaders. They're going the other way. Trying to catch up, and Jernigan is the last line of defense and is able to get Rayshawn Harris out. The linebacker was in the right place at the right time. That one could have been intercepted off the pass, Joe. Instead, it was the tip drill in effect. Wow, what a play. And right back in this game are the Crusaders.
And I've said it several times already, Dave. The Crusaders in this game were going to need at least one play from their defense, and they got a big one right there as Rayshawn Harris, off of a couple of deflections, was able to come away with the interception. Jernigan would have been better off just tucking that ball down and taking a sack. The Crusaders clearly have the screen game of the Patriots well scouted. They've been on those plays. They were on one earlier. Man coverage helped on that particular play. Jernigan tried to force it, and this time Harris made him pay. Now, Dave, what can the Crusaders do down around the end zone? They need to convert here. They need to come away with points. If they do, it's a new game. Perhaps they can even take the lead. A lot on the line coming up here on this drive.
Give Rayshawn Harris a lot of credit. He used all of his wheels to get down there, Joe, and a good job by Jernigan to not let up on the play. Very easy when you throw an interception like that to kind of put your hands on your hips and kind of walk in the other direction, but he never gave up on the play, saved the touchdown. And the Crusaders now with a 1st and 10 just outside the 10. They can register a first down here without the benefits of a touchdown. No one else in the backfield. Looked like McCray was going to take all the way, and does. He spilled at about the 6-yard line. First one there was Barron to make the stop for the Patriots. And it'll be about a 2nd and 5.
Well, going in, Dave, you know you have 4 downs to get this. We're not going to see a field goal here. So the Crusaders can call plays accordingly. If you're the Patriots, knowing that, obviously you can defend accordingly as well. And it looks like the Crusaders using a bit of tempo here.
Flag now on the plays. Might have too many players on the field. It is a sideline warning to the Patriots, who had too many of their players and coaches outside of the box and spilled out onto the field. So they'll huddle it back up here, will the Crusaders. And the play clock will start back up here.
if you're the Patriots, you do not want to give away very valuable yardage with a penalty in this spot. Make the Crusaders earn this. They haven't shown you yet that they can run the ball effectively on you. There's still a nice cushion between the Patriots defense and the end zone. And if you're the Crusaders, we'll see if they look to keep it on the ground one more time here before being forced to go to the air.
Well, no one in the backfield along with McCray.
He can keep it.
Absolutely, that is one of his options. Instead, he throws over everyone, but that one is incomplete. Not sure, Joe, if he was going to the slot receiver or trying to go over top in the direction of Campbell. But either way, it'll be 3rd down and 6 coming up.
And Dave, Leonard Gunnell on the defensive line for the Patriots got a great jump on that snap. I thought for a moment they might rule that he was offsides, and he got up in the air, airborne here. Actually, it wasn't Gunnell. He was on the inside. It was number 82 on that play, Kevin White, listed as a linebacker on the roster who came off that edge. Gunnell, the man in the middle at defensive tackle, but White getting airborne there, perhaps altered that throw just a bit. Out of the hand of McCray, I thought that was going straight to the slot corner, but he put enough air on it to avoid that. And we mentioned nickelback number 22, David Fisher's name already. I thought he may have had a chance for a big play there had that ball been a bit lower.
Now, the Patriots did decline a Crusaders penalty on that play as well. Would have made it a 2nd down and 11 from the 12. Instead, it's a 3rd down and 6 from the 7-yard line. High snap. McCray tucks it down, but we have whistles again. And the whistles here, I believe, are on the near side of the field, actually the far side of the field.
And we await the call as the officials will confer.
Perhaps a wide receiver on that side got started a little bit early or was lined up offsides. Let's see. Another decision here when this one's a little bit easier for the Patriots. So it's an illegal formation penalty on the Crusaders, and so they'll undoubtedly accept this here to be a 3rd down and 11 from the 12 instead of a 3rd and 6.
Crusaders moving in the wrong direction, Dave, with a huge opportunity to tie this game. And you just hate to see it if you're on that sideline watching this drive unfold. Once again, they have 4 downs to get this. But now, with a 3rd and 11, things are a bit tougher.
So 3rd down and 11 from the 12. Crusaders will have to get inside of the 1 for a 1st down. They line up with 4 wide receivers, twins on each side. McCray spinning to his left, does have a little bit of room there, tries to get the edge, is met at the 10, and is slammed down out of bounds by Barron, making the play again.
Well, Barron, very clearly an impact player out there for this Patriots defense. You mentioned what we've seen from him throughout the year, but in this game he's made his presence felt, and McCray did a great job to buy some extra time, and I'm not sure if he realized the freight train he had incoming from the backside as well. Barron was in his sights. He saw Barron and was eventually taken down. He tried to spin back toward the inside. He had a big defensive lineman bearing down, and those hits add up over the course of a game. You take enough of those early on, it'll make you think twice before trying to extend a play and holding on to that football outside of the pocket.
So what a moment in the game right now. 4th down and 9 from the 10-yard line. The Crusaders with a golden opportunity here to tie this game up. And the Patriots, off of a turnover, their defense can once again save the day, as they have been all season long. They've allowed just 2 touchdowns all season. High snap. Reined in by McCray, looking middle of the field. The catch is made, but it looks to be short of the 1st down. And it will be. That ball spotted at about the 3-yard line, 2 yards shy of the 1st, and the Patriots will take over right there.
It was close, but not close enough, Dave, as the receiver on that play, I believe, was wearing number 40, but very tough to tell without the benefit of binoculars. And
49, Joe.
49.
Which
not
you
on
do
our
not
roster.
have, yeah.
But either way, that's a big man who caught that pass. I could definitely see that player doubling on defense as well, perhaps just a big tight end. But either way, that pass was completed. It appeared to about the 3, if that's a yard or two closer, there's a chance to reach for the goal line there, as we've reached the end of the first quarter.
We have reached the end of the first quarter, so we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we will have the start of the second quarter all the way from the other side of the field. At the end of one, it's the Patriots 6 and the Crusaders nothing.
East Coast Trophies and Awards has been serving your awards needs since 1986 and is now a proud sponsor of the PDF Sports Network. From sports-specific trophies and plaques to corporate and business promotions and gifts, East Coast Trophies and Awards is your one-stop shop for all of your crowning achievements, and they always meet the right price. Contact Chris today at 848-223-7071 or visit them at www.eastcoastawards.com.
We are back here where the Patriots take over after a turnover on downs by the Crusaders, who were yet to register a first down in this game. They've had the ball 3 times, and unfortunately 2 3-and-outs and then a 4-and-out. Gives the ball back to the Patriots, who now have the shadow of their own goalpost behind them. So easy to lose a little bit of heart, Joe, after an offensive series like that, but the Crusaders still have a really good opportunity here, having the Patriots pinned back.
And there's no question that's demoralizing if you're the Crusaders, and even more so now after that first down carry goes for a nice gain of nearly 10.
Yeah, Montgomery able to power forward, very close to a first down. It'll be second down and short. And they've had success running right up the middle, have the Patriots. But they have run it outside the tackles as well at about a 3 to 4 yard per gain clip. The give in underneath, and it is once again Montgomery trying to spin and twist out of some tackles, but does have enough for the first down before 3 white jerseys, led by Anthony Parkins, were able to take him down.
And that's one of those second and short situations where the entire playbook is open for your offense. And if you're a running back and you get a handoff in that spot, you have a chance to get a bit more creative. And we saw some of that shiftiness over the middle of the field from Montgomery there, trying to make defenders miss. Obviously in that spot, the concern becomes protecting the football. Either way, first down carry, and the drive continues for the Patriots.
Really, the Patriots, since that first possession, only threw the one pass, and that was the interception that Jernigan threw on the tip ball on the previous drive. But this time he will go back to pass. He's going to make his own room, step up in the pocket, goes over to his left side, and is able to scamper out of bounds at about the 20-yard line.
Patriots right now on the back of their ground game, starting to generate some consistent offense. The defense has done their job, and we've seen the one catastrophic play came when they put the ball in the air. They haven't had to do that much in this game, and if you're the Crusaders, you have to force the Patriots to pass the football to beat you. It's still just a one-score game. You cannot allow this ground-and-pound offense to continue.
So a gain of 5 or 6 on the play. We'll bring up a second down and a long 4. Spread them out here on the near side with 2 wide receivers, but the fake give underneath, and now the pass over in the flat. That will be enough for the first down, as catch was made, and tough to bring down on that opposite side, but they finally do so as Christian Ramsey makes his first play here of this game for the Patriots, lined up as the flanker on the far side of the field.
They move the chains once again, Dave. It's been a methodical approach on offense for the Patriots thus far. And the Crusaders still have a chance to swing field position back in their direction. You have to remember the Patriots were pinned way back at about the 3.
Yeah, for the Crusaders, you get the sense, bend, but do not break. But right now, on a drive that started at the 3-yard line, is just shy of the 30. Pascal underneath. He's able to gain the edge, gets to the 40, spins and twists to the 45-yard line. And it took Michael Ty Smith to bring him down, but not before they moved the sticks once again.
Once again, Dave, the Patriots winning that battle in the trenches, offensive line against defensive line, allowing their backs to bounce rushing attempts to the outside. They have 2 receivers wearing number 13, according to their roster anyway. I can't tell if the back of that jersey says Wright or Clark on the far sideline, but if that is Malik Wright or Dante Clark, their block helped as well.
The give underneath is to Pascal again. He's able to weave out of one tackle and gains the 50-yard line before Parkins is able to bring him down. But that's another steady gain of about 6 yards on first down.
This ground game for the Patriots really starting to build momentum, and the Crusaders haven't had an answer. We haven't seen any of these rushing attempts go for a negligible gain since the opening drive of the game. And unsurprisingly, that's the drive where the Crusaders were able to come away with a stop.
One of the things the Patriots do so well is they just do not go backwards with the football. Everything is forward, forward, forward. And we have a third and final timeout called by the New York Crusaders. So they are out of timeouts here with unofficially just over 10 and a half minutes to go here in half number 1. And Joe, do you feel like that timeout is taken just to kind of solidify things in the front of your defense there, or the middle linebacker and the interior of the defensive line?
I think it's certainly a timeout taken to regroup, and I like it in that regard because right now the Patriots are having their way with the Crusaders in the ground game. You've seen early in this game that yards through the air going to be tough to come by for both teams, but the Patriots had a catastrophic play go against them in the screen passing game, and the Crusaders, in the pass attempts they've had, haven't been able to connect outside of that one play down around the goal line, and that was almost enough. So it's going to be a battle in the trenches. You said it, Dave, during the pregame. I highlighted how important it would be for the Crusaders to control possession in this game, and with a rushing attack like this is what we've seen from the Patriots thus far, it's going to be very tough for the Crusaders to do that.
So as we return here to live action, 2nd down and 4 coming up for the Patriots. As Joe mentioned, they have been slashing their way here with the run game. A drive that started at their own 3-yard line to start this second quarter. Jernigan, the give underneath. And powering his way forward for another first down is Pascal. Excuse me, that was Tariq Mines on the carry. Took three Crusaders to get him down.
And not only are they running the ball effectively, Dave, but they're doing so employing a running back committee here.
Right.
3 different halfbacks have gotten into this game now for the Patriots, and they also have a quarterback in Jernigan who's able to move as well. So things getting very difficult for the Crusaders defensively, but we'll see if perhaps there's something the sideline saw that was passed along to this defense during that timeout, because it's clear they need to make some adjustments in defending the run.
So first down, the ball spotted at the Crusaders' 43-yard line, but that is something that Coach Collier mentioned in our pregame chat with him as well, as they do have a very deep backfield, and they can interchange players there, and that's a big luxury to have. The ability to interchange and bring fresh legs in. This time it will be Jernigan back to pass. Has a very good pocket. That pass into coverage, and getting up and making the catch is Wright. And that's going to be inside the 10, and it will set up the Patriots 1st and goal.
And run after run after run from this Patriots offense sets up plays just like that. We know they have playmakers on the outside. They haven't needed them yet in this game, but right there, Malik Wright comes through in a big way. That was good coverage. There were 2 Crusaders in the area, but Wright, with a distinct size advantage, went up and got that football. A great ball from his quarterback, as well as Marquise Jernigan put it right on the money. And following that collision in midair, there's a Crusaders defensive back who's a bit hobbled.
So they'll take the official timeout here on this one. And what a drive so far here for the Patriots. Cutting up the Crusaders with the run game and then going over top. And playmakers over the field. And one of those playmakers, Malik Wright. And, Joe, I do realize that There are 2 number 13s on the Patriots who both are listed as wide receivers, but in pregame I noticed that number 13, Dante Clark, was wearing red socks. And that would make me believe that Wright came up with that one. Non-red socks.
Got it.
Montgomery runs into a wall at the 10 and stood up right there. Good job by the Crusaders that time, as the first one in there on the tackle was Golden.
Now, you have the binoculars, Dave. I think the last names are on the jerseys.
Yes,
for
they
some
are.
of the
For
Patriots.
some of them, yeah.
For some of them.
For those that are not, it simply says Patriots on the back.
Also, Kamal Taylor was the player who went to the sideline injured for the Crusaders following that last reception.
Understood. So 2nd down and goal from the 10-yard line. And once again, the Patriots will spread them out. 2 wide receivers on each side, Montgomery to Jernigan's left. Jernigan looks right, now goes middle of the field. That one was elevated in the direction of Cologne.
Looked like in the left corner of the end zone, Christian Ramsey clapping his hands and waving his arms. Felt he was wide open. Maybe we can get one more look at that and see if he indeed was open there. But he returns to the huddle, making some emphatic gestures. It'd be the upper left corner of the screen if we can see it.
Get you back to live action in a second, but
Oh yeah.
But maybe had that ball was out before
it was
think
out.
he made that break.
It was out.
All right, big play here, 3rd and goal for the Patriots at the 10-yard line. In motion was Ramsey, but it's Jernigan on the keeper left side. The Crusaders are there to wrap things up. Nice job that time by, I thought it was number 22 on the play.
Yeah, you saw 22. I saw 82. There is no 82.
There's no, well, 22 is Campbell, who plays on the offensive side of the ball.
Our engineer, Nick's trying to eyeball it for us.
Either way, we have a 4th down coming up and a huge moment in this game.
I want to say it was 88, Dave, off that end spot.
88 is Aiden Edwards, listed as a wide receiver for us, but here we go. 4th down. Jernigan looks, middle of the field, and open and making the catch was right. He scores, and the Patriots have doubled their lead.
That's a huge play in this game, Dave, as right now there were some Patriots on the sideline trying to communicate something to the field. I was listening in, but that's a stop the Crusaders had to have, Dave, especially given the way the last drive ended. They don't get it, and now they find themselves down 2 scores with time winding down here in the 2nd quarter. And if you take a look at that defense, it was a zone look from the Crusaders. They were spread out throughout the end zone, and there was a gaping hole underneath in the middle.
Well, Wright was lined up at the extreme near side of the screen that time, and he just simply made a 5-yard and in while the slot receiver broke outside and left the zone open, and the Patriots make him pay. As now the Patriots will have Joshua Hines in the backfield, but on a bad snap, Jernigan has to put one up, and in the back of the end zone, waiting there was Cologne, and the 2-point conversion is successful. It's 14-0 Patriots.
Juan Cologne all alone along the back line, and there was not a Crusader in sight as he made the catch going down to a knee. And you love to have an opportunity like that if you're a receiver. No threat of a hit, able to run across that back line in the end zone completely unopposed. Sometimes you could get in your own head in those spots, a bit easier on a 2-point try. And those 2-point tries matter. If you go 0 for 2 on those, that does set up your opponent with a chance to perhaps get a lead on you with a couple of scores, needing just one of those 2-point tries. But the math becomes a bit far-sighted when you're trying to add up those 2-point conversions and the potential that comes from those with no extra points in a game. Either way, it's a 14-point Patriots lead. And, you know, the way that first game went, we didn't see it live and in person, but this one is shaping up toward a very similar halftime score.
Joe, that was a 97-yard drive for the Patriots, and we officially have been notified that there is 6:59 remaining in the first half, and they took over with the second quarter having started, so you could do the math. 8:01 taken off, 97 yards of real estate, and Talk about, the Crusaders who wanted to establish possession in this game. They wanted to be able to string together first downs and keep the ball out of the Patriots' hands. Well, they've been unsuccessful to this point, and now they have to find a way to score twice against a team that has only given up 2 touchdowns the entire season.
That's so tough. But they do get the ball to start the second half. And I think now, trailing by 2 possessions, it's going to take a game-changing play on special teams or on defense. The offense just hasn't had any traction to this point.
So Bierlo will get into this one. 3 Crusaders back deep this time, and it is an end-over-end kick that bounced at about the 30, and finally picking up now where the Crusaders and promptly spilled down was Akai Bailey, the linebacker who had to force the play that as one of the up men. He gets up slowly, or really hasn't gotten up yet. And the Crusaders will be at the 33-yard line. Actually down on the play in a heap was Malik Sanders.
And you hate to bobble on a kick return and cost yourself an opportunity to really survey the blocking and put together a quality return in a spot like that, and in need of a big play as we have an injured player down. And players from both sides attending to the fallen Crusader right now, and hate to see that in any game.
Yeah, now we do have 2 number 1s on our Crusaders roster, Malik Sanders on the defensive side of the ball, and Deshaun McCombs, who we've seen run the football here for the Crusaders, and certainly not something you want to see, especially here on championship game day, the final game of the season for both of these teams.
And whenever the attention goes straight to the knee, that's often not a good sign, but it looks like the fallen Crusader is able to bend that right leg, which is the leg he's favoring right now. So that is a positive takeaway at the moment, and looks like he is to his feet, at least in part under his own power. That's a big man wearing number 1.
Yep, and it is indeed Sanders who is being helped off. So tough loss here for the Crusaders. We'll hope that Sanders is okay, and obviously getting a lot of support, but was able to get up onto his feet, so that's always a good sign. And, for what it's worth here, we're still relatively early in the game. We're still in the game's first half. We've got about 7 minutes to play here in this second quarter, so almost half of the quarter remaining now. The Crusaders have yet to register a first down in this game. They've gone 3 and out twice and 4 and out after starting 1st and 10 at the Patriots 11 via a Patriots turnover.
And you get the sense here, Dave, that it might be now or never.
Yeah.
It might be now or never, because if the Patriots get the ball back with good field position, the way they've moved it the last couple of drives, you have to think that the odds are in their favor to score again.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want them possessing the ball ahead by 2 scores with the odds in their favor to score a third time.
Yeah, and the other part of this too is that there is really no room for error anymore for the Crusaders defensively, and they've been on the field for so long that the offense at least has to give them breathers on the other side. Now, obviously the injury timeout helps, but this offense really needs to put something together here. Something positive. Going up was McCrade, who get that and just did get the handoff off, and maybe a gain of about 1 or 2 on that play. As McCombs once again did the honors via the rush, but the Patriots right there in the middle of the field.
And the ground game has yielded nothing so far for the Crusaders, and that makes it that much more difficult. If I'm not mistaken, their biggest play was that 4th down pass on the last drive. Biggest play of the game.
Yeah, we know McCray can also run with the football, but the Patriots have been very disciplined in their zones and not letting McCray get an edge either. And he's had to elevate for some of these snaps. That one is put down, and it is given. And promptly put down and spilled was Jefferson. And flags are down late, and now we've got some arms flailing, Joe, and 3 more flags come out And, Joe, I hate to say it, but I think a Crusaders player might have taken a swing at one of the Patriots players. And we will have to see how this all gets sorted out. But there was a lot of extracurricular. Maybe we'll get another look at it coming up in a few. But
well, you hate to see that in any game, and especially a championship game. But the officials will sort this one out now, and I think unquestionably that's the product of frustration boiling over.
Oh, somebody got up, and there's that swing.
That wasn't a swing. He threw the football at him.
He threw the football.
He threw the football at him.
So let's see what comes out of this.
If those flags are not offsetting, this is crippling for the Crusaders. And we've seen them victimized by flags well within their control throughout this game.
Yep, and all of those flags obviously came out at the end of that play. So anything that comes of this will come with a result of the play having taken place, which was no gain. If anything, there was a loss of 2 or 3 on the play. So the Crusaders, even without the penalty, which were offsetting, Joe, have a 3rd down and about 12 here coming up. They'll have to get to the 42.5-yard line for a 1st down. Ball spotted just inside the 30.
Well, if you're the Crusaders here, I think it's 4-down territory the rest of the way, Dave.
Yeah.
Maybe you punt one more time.
Maybe.
Maybe one more.
Especially if it's 4th and long here. You'd love to get 10 yards here or something positive.
It depends how late we are in the half as well.
Unofficially under 6 to go here. Cray gets a clean pocket for a moment, looks to go over top, and unable to come down with it. With a chance for it was Elias Foley.
I saw a penalty there, Dave. There was a jersey yank, 100%.
Yeah, you know what? He played the ball well. It was a little bit underthrown, I would think, for him. But he kind of positioned his body well to kind of come under it, but then there was the collision that kind of jarred things loose. We're going to get another look at it.
I thought there was a jersey tug on that one. It was great coverage in terms of body positioning. I thought there was a yank on that shoulder pad. We'd have to slow it down significantly to see it. But in live action, I thought there was a very subtle jersey tug.
Now, it does look like they are punting here on 4th down and 12. Indeed, Byrne is coming in.
Yeah, I think there's enough time left where you can punt it here.
But look at this, Joe. Another kind of miscommunication with personnel here for the Crusaders. Remember, on their previous 2 punts, they were forced to take timeouts. They don't have the benefits of that. They're out of timeouts.
They have none now.
High snap, taken down, partially blocked perhaps. I'm not sure. But the ball's going to go out of bounds. Looks like right at midfield, maybe even in Crusaders territory. But either way, at most a 20-yard punt. And the Patriots are going to be in business once again. They get to start a drive from inside of Crusaders territory.
Well, it could have been far worse in terms of field positioning following that punt. You said it. There may have been a partial block. Either way, the Patriots take over in plus territory. And if they're able to find the end zone on this drive, I think the Crusaders are in full desperation mode.
Officially, there's 2 minutes remaining, Joe. So we've just been told there are 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Ball spotted at the 48. But you got plenty of time here if you're the Patriots, because I believe they do have 2 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, with 2 minutes left in the half, I think absolutely you have to punt there because the clock then becomes a factor for the Patriots offensively. If you go for it and fail inside of your own 30, then 2 minutes is an eternity. Still great field position, not quite as great as being inside the Crusaders 30 with the Patriots starting at the Crusaders 48-yard line.
And familiar lineup here, 4 wide receivers. It's Montgomery who does get the carry. He works underneath, gets met immediately that time by David Byrne, the punter as well. Minimal gain, a gain of about 1, but the clock is moving here, Joe.
And we'll see when the Patriots go back to the air. You have to think that at some point during this drive, they'll have to air it out. Obviously, they don't want the Crusaders to get the ball again, but I don't think that's a huge concern right now. They're just thinking about putting points on the board. So Bit surprised to see a first down run, though the ground game has been very effective to this point.
Got to think they'll put it up in the air this time, but no, they do not. It's Montgomery this time. Thought about stretching it out to the left, goes inside instead, and it's very close to a first down. A couple of Crusaders there to clean things up, led by Golden, and it will be a first down.
And you can see at the left tackle spot, Chris Bethea kind of lolling the defensive end toward the outside. His footwork kind of drew the defensive end away from where that cut was made upfield, and then the block was held, and that afforded Montgomery all the running room he needed, making that cut upfield just inside of left tackle.
Officially inside of 1 minute to go here in the first half. Jernigan this time will look. Left side looking for the seam and cannot connect with Christian Ramsey, who lined up on the left side. And, you know, Joe, it's a moot point now, but I still go back to that coin toss and the Crusaders electing to defer, kick off their defense on the field first. And remember, the Patriots set up 1st and 10 inside of Crusaders territory, and they really have owned the field position battle since. Now, granted, they had to start one possession inside their own 5, but that still kind of stays with me here at this point. I don't know how much that really matters at this stage, but certainly makes a difference.
If the Crusaders get off the field here without allowing any points, there's certainly a chance.
Yep.
And that's all you can ask for.
45 seconds remaining here, 2nd down and 10. Jernigan looked right, nothing there, tucks it away, wants to gain the edge, and has to fall at about the 39-yard line. That is officially a loss of about 1 on the play, and I believe the Patriots are calling for a timeout. There is an official whistle on the field here as we have an injury to one of the Crusaders players, and it is a timeout on the field. 35.2 seconds remaining here. Having gone down in a heap was Bison Suarez, and he's going to have to get some attention.
There's 2 Crusaders down on the turf right now, but on that last play, it was David Byrne's effort once again, at least making contact with Jernigan coming off that edge. He got his hands on the Patriots quarterback, slowed him down just enough to make sure he couldn't accelerate up the field. Otherwise, that play may have gone for some additional yardage and perhaps allowed Jernigan to get out of bounds, which in this spot is almost as important. So the injured Crusaders were being attended to down on the field, one now making his way off.
And there is a timeout called by the Patriots now, so that is their second timeout taken.
I was going to say, do the Patriots get that timeout back with the injuries?
Well, either way, they want to talk things over here because coming up will be 3rd and 11. So mission number 1 is, obviously you have the 2 downs, but mission number 1 is to pick up this first down, get yourself in a position where you could throw 1 or 2 in the end zone. Patriots with 1 timeout remaining. The Crusaders with no timeouts. But you're right, Joe. If the Crusaders can get off the field here without having yielded any more points, they are still 1 play away from getting back in the game. And, you know, we saw it happen on the turnover. That almost went the other way for 6 points. And they're one of those plays away from getting right back in to within striking distance. But going down by 3 scores, that could be the kiss of death here right before the end of the first half.
I don't think they can afford it.
Jernigan, clean pocket, this time looks out in the left flat to Montgomery. Montgomery lowers his shoulder, does get out of bounds at about the 27-yard line, and looks like it will be enough for a first down. We'll see if they officially move the sticks here. Timeout either way, but looks like the ball is going to get spotted at about the 27, which would make it a first down.
That's a big play out of the timeout. Quick pitch and catch, screen pass set up toward the wide side of the field. Plenty of running room, and to get a first down out of that one is a big pickup.
And looks like they're marking it down at the 27-yard line, but there is the 4th. Actually, no, it's first down. So now they've waived the first down. They'll give the chain gang some time to move the sticks, and they get the full complement of the 35-second play clock here. But the ball did go out of bounds, so clock is stopped here unofficially. 27.4 remaining. They did. Oh, okay, so the ball was ruled inbounds, so the Patriots did use their final timeout, Joe.
Yeah, it was very close along the far side.
Jernigan, nice, clean pocket. This time looks middle of the field, and a good defensive play to break things up by the Crusaders. Elias Foley on the defensive side of the ball that time just got into the hands of Montgomery to break that play up.
That might have been a game-saving play, Dave. I'm not sure if the Crusaders would be able to bounce back. Should they allow a touchdown here? And you'll see it again on the replay. Right up the seam in the middle. There was a little bit of an opening there. Looked like one deep safety on that look who had helped toward the near side, and that opened up the opportunity up the middle. And Foley stayed right with the intended target on the play, was able to get his hands in there and disrupt that pass.
3 wide receivers now on the near side. Ramsey, Wilson, and Montgomery all to this side. It's right on the other side on his own. Low snap. Jernigan fields well, but they will go to Wright's side. He does skip off of a tackle, turns inside in the 5, and extending for the touchdown.
Malik Wright, a big-bodied receiver, Dave, but how about those moves in the open field? He made no less than 4 tacklers miss. The Crusaders had a chance immediately following the reception to take him down. They could not, and that's a tough tackle. He is a big man. He made full use of his size, full use of his elusiveness, and now the Patriots have that 3-possession lead.
Now that is a championship play right there. And Malik Wright, with touchdown number 2, puts the Patriots up by a minimum of 3 scores. And they will undoubtedly go for 2 here and look to extend to 22-0, which was the final score of their regular season game against the Crusaders. That game was 20-0 at halftime, which is what we're looking at right now. There's unofficially 12.7 seconds left in this first half. Once again, it is Josh Hines to Jernigan's left. Hines will get the carry, and the big guy gets in there for 2.
I said it before, Dave. We were trending toward a very similar score to the halftime score in that first meeting.
And that's it, Joe. That was the final play of the first half. So at halftime, the Patriots have mirrored their regular season victory against the Crusaders. They take a 22-0 lead at the break. A stranglehold on this game. The Crusaders are going to have a big hill to climb as you see the replay of Hines' 2-point conversion. Every point enormous at this point, and the Patriots 1 half away from finalizing their Big East season with a championship, and an undefeated one at that. They lead the Crusaders 22-0 at halftime. Joe and I will step aside, take a break. When we come back, we'll get you ready for half number 2. Halftime, 22-0, Patriots lead. Welcome back to St. Peter's High School in Staten Island, New York. We are at halftime of the Big East Championship, the inaugural championship, where the Patriots are seeking to finalize an undefeated season. And, Joe, they are most certainly on their way.
It certainly looks that way, Dave. And we said it before, the 22-0 halftime score, identical to the score at halftime during the first meeting between these two teams. 20-0.
Yeah.
The safety came in the second half, so close, very close, almost identical. But either way, the Patriots with a 3-score lead, and that was the benchmark late in that first half. Once they went up by a score of 14-0, we were looking at that potential for a third score being the backbreaker for this Crusaders team, and the Crusaders offense just couldn't generate any first downs in order to keep the ball out of the hands of the Patriots on the offensive side of the ball. Specifically, late in that first half, there were just 2 minutes left when the Patriots took over at the Crusaders' 48-yard line, and the Patriots marched straight down the field and were able to score a touchdown. They had a big score on a 4th down as well. Huge first half for Malik Wright at the wideout position for the Patriots. He made a pair of big plays, especially that one late in the end of the half. And with that, Patriots lead it 22-0. And based on what we've seen from the Crusaders offense in this game, major adjustments will be necessary in half number 2.
Yep, and let me ask you about those adjustments as we get a chance to see some of the highlights from that first half. And you could see the play. This was right before the end of the first half that really actually ended the first half. The 2-point conversion came right after, but that's what really made it a 3-score game for sure. And, Joe, just to kind of touch on your point, we knew that the Crusaders were going to have an uphill battle beating this Patriots team today. But now they have to make up a 22 points in a single half. And this is a team that hasn't registered a first down yet in the game. So tell me about the little things that they can try and do just to kind of hang their hat on something early in this second half, because they will get the ball first.
I think first and foremost, they have to erase the penalties completely. You can't afford to put yourself in a position where you're in down and distant situations of double-digit yards to go on second down, on third down. And a lot of that, when it's happened, has been the result of penalties. The penalties on special teams also have pushed the Patriots offense forward, putting them in great starting field position. You can't afford to lose the field position battle in a game against a defense like this. You can't afford to lose the field position battle in a game now where you're trailing by 22 points. But in terms of offensive play calling, which is the area right now where they've really struggled, they've struggled to generate positive yards consistently on offense. You have to find something in the passing game. I'm not sure what that's going to be, whether it's a screen pass or perhaps you try a jump pass with the quarterback, something creative to pull the defense in, make them think you're running the football, and then find a way to get it over the top of a linebacker, maybe even a defensive back. Throws down the field have been there for them in this game. They've taken a couple of shots, and the receivers have gotten a step. One of them overthrown, another broken up. So you're going to have to capitalize on those chances. I'm not sure how many more they'll get. They'll probably need at least 2 or 3 of them in terms of deep balls being connected on to get back in this game. And the defense early in this game got the stop they were looking for. They'll need plenty more of that in the second half.
Yeah, and it's interesting, Joe, too, looking at the Crusaders sideline. There's a majority of their players around the sidelines. They're actually with their coaches or with their teammates and kind of getting ready. But there is a consortium of players that are huddled up with one of their coaches, and they're centered around Fish McCray, their quarterback. There's a lot of animated gesturing going on, having like a little, away from the team discussion. And you got to think it's the frustration that's mounting as well for the Crusaders. Their defense has been on the field a lot, but when their offense just really hasn't gotten anything going.
Yeah, and I think they had the right approach early in this game. They tried to keep the ball on the ground, and they didn't have any negative plays on offense. They didn't give up yards on sacks. They weren't losing yards on carries, but they weren't gaining much either. And when the defense knows that they have you poised to end up in a third down and long, the play calling gets a bit easier. And obviously the Patriots have great confidence in the corners on the outside. Burnett and Thompson have been in press coverage for much of this game. They were isolated man-to-man on a couple of deep balls. One of those did see the receiver get over the top. The other one was defended perfectly by Burnett along the far side. So if you're the Crusaders, you have to find a way to stay out of third and long. It's easier said than done.
Absolutely, and defensively, they did give up the 97-yard drive following their inability to score on first and goal after the turnover. But really, the Patriots have been operating inside of Crusaders territory for the entirety of the first half. They've been starting, I think their average starting field position is at the Crusaders' 45-yard line if you take away that one drive where they went 97 yards. So they're really not setting up their defense in good positions either.
Yeah, and part of that is something I mentioned before, the penalties, one of them coming on special teams specifically. But I think the beginning of where this game turned was that 97-yard drive, and I think that goes without saying. The interception by the Crusaders could have changed this game drastically in the other direction had they taken it in for a touchdown. But you know that the Patriots had to have a great deal of confidence that even backed up against their own end zone, they could come away with a stop against this team. They did just that, and then not only that, they delivered a huge counterpunch with the 97-yard drive, and that put the Crusaders in a really tough spot. Now they're in nearly an impossible spot, trailing by 22.
Before we throw it to commercial and then get ready for the second half, Joe, we spoke a lot about the Crusaders here at halftime, but if you're the Patriots here, you have a 22-point lead, a lot of smiles on their side of the field. Team is very loose, and they've played an almost perfect first half. Is there anything that they need to tweak here in these final 30 minutes?
Anything they need to tweak? Probably not. The defense has gotten it done. They've run the ball well, and when they've needed to complete big passes, they've done it, specifically on fourth down where they came up with that touchdown. And going back to that play that resulted in the second touchdown, I just find it so hard to believe the area of the field that was open. Short, over the middle, with fourth down and goal to go. I just found it so hard to believe that area of the field was left unattended. There were Crusaders lined up in the end zone, but there was nobody guarding in front of the end zone to protect against a catch underneath. And the yards after, not only did the Patriots complete the pass, but they completed it basically in the end zone.
Yeah.
And the window, not necessarily that tight. It did look like the Crusaders had a linebacker lined up in the middle of the field on the goal line, but that window and what looked like a quarter zone defense along the goal line, that's just too large.
Well, we're getting that other look. This was the 2-point conversion that came after. So,
speaking of large windows.
Yeah. So we're getting ready. Both teams are getting set on the field. Why don't we go to our last of our commercial breaks here at halftime. When we come back, we'll get you ready for the third quarter right here live from St. Peter's High School in Staten Island. The Patriots lead at half, 22-0. Stay with us.
Attention, local businesses and professionals. Isn't it time to elevate your game? Now you can advertise your business or product on PDF Sports Network. Your ad will appear on all of our broadcasts, including this one. Don't have a commercial? We'll make one for you, absolutely free. What better way to showcase your product and brand while supporting the best local sports, teams, and leagues? Call now at 732-723-8189 or visit us at pdfsportsnet.com.
Second half kickoff is scooped up by the Crusaders, and very quickly Akai Bailey was taken down at about the Crusaders' 36-yard line. So right now we're attending to a power issue up here in the press box. So my name is Joe Foreman, joined on the call by David Pizzuto, and Dave will take over on play-by-play once again once this power issue up here in the press box is addressed. Our score at the start of the third quarter, the Patriots 22 and the Crusaders nothing. As Dave and I discussed, late in the first half, the Patriots really separated themselves in this game. A 97-yard touchdown drive and a touchdown on the final play from scrimmage in that first half. The Crusaders did elect to kick, opening the game, and received the second half kickoff, so they take over at their own 33 officially. And as Dave mentioned, there was a huddle between the offensive players just before the start of this third quarter. And we'll have to see if what they discussed pays off in this spot, because the Crusaders need points, and I won't go as far as to say they need them quickly yet, but they certainly need to put a touchdown on the board sooner rather than later. Right now they're shuffling personnel on and off the field, and they are forced to use a timeout. And the Crusaders have just had all sorts of issues getting the correct personnel on the field, specifically on special teams early in the game. But now, here on the offensive side of the ball, they need to utilize a timeout, and they will have 2 remaining the rest of the way. So a chance to discuss things a bit further. They have to believe there were extensive discussions during halftime regarding the adjustments they'd be looking to make here in the second half. And in terms of the ground game, not much there. In terms of the passing game, just one completion. That completion came down around the end zone. As I'm rejoined by Dave Pizzuto.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, we had a scare going on our computer that our stuff wasn't charging. But it looks like we've got things sorted out here. Power issues okay, I believe, for now.
Backup machine ready and waiting.
No, nobody breathe.
Yeah.
Some things you just are out of your control sometimes, and technology is one of them, and power supplies and things of that nature. Our internet has been strong in this game, so we are thankful for that.
Souvenir?
Almost.
That's a strong arm out there.
So a delayed time here, Joe. This was a timeout called by the Crusaders, as you mentioned here, and Right out of the gate, they call their first timeout. And on a huge drive here to start the second half, they will look to pick up potentially their first down of the game. They did not register a first down in the first half. McCray in motion. Porter. The give is to Porter underneath. He does find a small seam and gets out to about the 40-yard line. Gain of about 2. And there is a flag down here on the near side.
Well, immediately following that short pitch forward, looked like that play had a great deal of promise. But instead, it's going to be a penalty against the Crusaders.
Illegal formation. Illegal shift.
Illegal motion.
So it'll be first down and 15. And, Joe, just like you scripted it, or what you said the Crusaders needed to avoid, according to the script, was going backwards and really putting themselves in a bad position to start drives and get themselves in second and third and long, and right away, first and 15.
It's hard to avoid sometimes when nothing is working. You get frustrated, you try and press a bit, and the pressure of being in a championship game trailing by 3 scores weighs on you pretty heavily, and that can force some mistakes, and we've seen those mistakes. Now one here to open the third, and they were scattered throughout the first half as well.
So first down and 15. McCray with an empty backfield here. 2 receivers to his right, and it is Porter once again in motion. Will get the handoff, is met at about the 35, spilled over that at about the 36, 37-yard line. So they get closer to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be second and about 11 coming up.
Something I didn't touch on coming into this third quarter that the Crusaders perhaps could look to utilize in order to generate some offense, some pre-snap motion, some trickery. I did mention some aspects of trickery, something as perhaps considered outlandish as the jump pass, but just anything to try and generate some offense. And right now it looks like pre-snap motion is the direction that they're going with, trying to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers on the outside without having to complete a pass.
Yeah, how do you make the Patriots uncomfortable? And that's a riddle that no one's really been able to solve this season, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Porter in motion, but instead it'll be McCray. McCray does find the seam, the first down of the Crusaders and more as they get into Patriots territory. First and 10 at about the 48-yard line.
There's the biggest play of the game thus far for the Crusaders, a good-looking run by McCray. And perhaps that helps them try and generate some momentum as they are now in plus territory out across midfield. And if they open this third quarter with a touchdown drive, that's a big punch to the gut for this Patriots team. They have a big cushion, but you know that the way they've played defense all year, they are expecting a shutout. So a score here
100%.
maybe puts a little bit of doubt in the heads of some of those Patriots.
Well, again, you want to make it a one-score game in the fourth quarter. Give yourself a chance defensively, offensively, to make one big play to win you this game. But you got to crawl before you can walk. And it is Porter this time once again. Does find that edge and does manage to get about 2 or 3 yards. Good job by Porter to stay with it, gain that edge on the right side.
And that's still a step in the right direction. It's a short gain, but we've seen gains of nothing, gains of 1 on a lot of these first down carries. And now it looks like Porter, who is listed on the roster as an athlete, and there are some words being exchanged along the sideline. And
Shaheem Burnett was
flags
involved
flying everywhere
as well. Yeah, Shaheem Burnett was involved. Now there's players going down everywhere. A bit of a bad look here for these teams. They need to get them, they need to get unfurled and unpeeled. It looked like Burnett, Joe, we'll go back and see. It'll be hard to see on the far side. But it seems like Burnett was attacking the ball and finally was able to strip the ball out while they were on the sidelines. And obviously a lot of the Crusaders players took exception to that. And that's what ensued the rest of the teams getting involved. And Burnett still right now is with an official at about the 20-yard line. He was the one in the center of all of this. And players are still having to unpeel here right near the goal line.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was much time for any words to be exchanged before we saw bodies start flying around the sideline. And I think a lot of that was players trying to restrain teammates and coaches, trying to make sure that none of their players entered the bench area of the Crusaders where everything was taking place. Players were being told from up in the box over public address not to cross the numbers, which is a personal foul and cause for possible ejection. However, you hate to see this in any game, especially what's supposed to be a showcase of the league's two best teams.
And now a couple more players coming from the Patriots sideline to kind of get their teammates out of harm's way. And in the middle of things as well as Rayshawn Harris for the Crusaders is kind of in the middle of the Patriots huddle, just kind of shaking hands with folks, telling people to calm down and trying to do the right thing. And eventually after all this, Joe, I'm sure we'll see some penalties, maybe even some punishments, perhaps an ejection, just to kind of keep things at bay, because there's a lot at play here too, Joe. I mean, we're talking about not only the game, which is in question, but, you know, the league is on display here. They're playing at a neutral site, St. Peter's, which is the home of the Staten Island Hurricanes. You don't want to jeopardize, you know, field usage in the future, so you have to make sure that cooler heads prevail. And these teams are rivals. It's plain and simple. They play each other once, twice. Sometimes there have been seasons where they've played 3 times, and they know one another. And as much as there is some mutual respect, Joe, there's a lot of, you know, elevated and heated feelings, too, going on in this rivalry.
Well, you know what they say, Dave. Familiarity breeds contempt. And based upon what we just saw, looks like there was quite a bit of contempt between these two teams. And what has been a very physical game. And we mentioned that the Patriots thus far have won the battle at the line of scrimmage. That's where a lot of physicality will take place. And on that particular play, it looked like the action spilled out onto the sideline, and that's where shoves were exchanged.
Yep, and this will take a while to get sorted out. And, you know, we cover a lot of semi-pro now, Joe, and we've been at it. We're going into our 3rd year pretty soon. And the one thing that we know about the semi-pro universe is that a lot of players move around. They're hired guns, so to speak, sometimes, and they move. And now we have even more Crusaders that need to be separated. We're getting into that really tough time in all this, Joe, where we got to be really careful here that this does not get suspended. Our game could be in jeopardy if the officials feel, Joe, that they're not safe or the safety of the players will be compromised. They can, and they do have the authority to walk off the field and declare this a no contest. You don't want that to happen.
No, absolutely not. And given what we've seen so far, you have to wonder who's going to be left.
Yeah.
I mean, who did not cross the numbers off the sideline?
Well, if you look at all the officials, Joe, they're gathering at about the 10-yard line, about the 15-yard line, and they're going to make some decisions here and discuss some things, maybe get the coaches of both teams involved. But, Joe, getting back to the point I was making before is that there's a lot of semi-pro teams that their roster changes year to year, right? Or, you know, they have a team this year, they don't have a team next year. But these are two teams that they're less like teams and more like programs. These are kind of institutions of semi-pro. The Crusaders have been Crusaders for years. The Patriots have been Patriots for years. And so when we talk about familiarity, there is some true familiarity and contempt with these teams. Again, a lot of mutual respect as well, but, you know, there's a lot of players who line up against one another every single year. There's a lot of bragging rights on the line, a lot of jawing back and forth, and it's a powder keg sometimes, and this is what happens as a result.
Yeah, we've seen it before. It's always been dealt with, always been handled. Nothing has ever spilled outside the lines, which, of course, is something you never want to see. And the officials will discuss what to make of this now. And without video of what transpired, there was a lot to keep track of. So I don't envy the officials, and this could take some time.
Yes, and Joe and I and our crew here, we're covering this game live, but if you're watching this game, you might have seen some of what went down. You might have not.
We have a replay.
We do have replays, but
and here it is.
Yeah, we'll take a look at how it started, but it all resulted from Porter being on the sideline, having been, you know, dragged out of bounds, and then continuing to work that football. And Burnett came down with the ball, And then some of the Crusaders players took exception, and, Burnett never really left the scene until the end when things got hot, and some of his teammates tried to bail him out from that. But, Joe, we should mention that at about the 35-yard line, there are the league commissioners, there is the team owners, there are members of the Staten Island Hurricanes who are managing and overseeing the field here, and, of course, you have our head referee. So anybody who is important to this game, more than just the teams themselves, are right there trying to work things out. And if they don't feel that this game can continue, they do have the power to discontinue it, but that is not a look that you want in your inaugural championship game. Now, do I think personally that the fighting escalated to a point where that's necessary? I don't. But even well after guys were separated, Joe, you still saw Crusaders players from their sideline come out in the field to once again engage. Same thing on the Patriots sideline. And now you have, I believe, for the Patriots, Chauncey Murray leaving the field completely. I believe maybe he got ejected, but he just left. Stage
our production
left.
desk says he was ejected.
Yeah. So he has to leave the premises, and he was not happy while he was doing it. But he exits stage left.
It looks like right now he's the only one.
Yeah. And now there are a couple of players who are heading out for the Crusaders that way. The Patriots are lining up in their team huddle to have a discussion. And it looks like, is that 52?
Yep.
Joe leaving? So that's Laquan Curry, who's also leaving. Not sure it's the best idea for the two ejected players to leave at the same time, unescorted out of the facility.
I think he is being escorted by a coach.
Okay.
Yes, I think there's a coach in front of him.
Okay. Well, that's good to see.
They were lucky enough to park on the premises. I was not.
Joe, I will tell you, there are a lot of Crusaders players getting undressed.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Crusaders players.
I said it before. Who's going to be left? Everyone was involved.
Well, getting undressed, Joe, I don't know because they've been ejected, but because maybe this game is over.
Yeah, I think it's over. The Patriots are clapping in their huddle.
And we will get a league representative to come up here and perhaps talk to us. And, yeah, I think this game has been called, Joe.
I think you're right. Yeah, the officials are leaving, Dave.
They are. So we're going to go down on the field and talk to we're going to talk to some people. So we're going to get ready to do that in just a few moments. But it looks like this game has been called unofficially 2.5 minutes into the second half. The Patriots ahead 22-0. But indeed, the officials are leaving the field. And I saw it, Joe, as soon as the players were getting undressed on the opposite side. I don't know who I'm going to get to interview. It's going to be in a good enough mood to want to talk. But the Patriots are champions. I mean, it's as simple as that. And it's maybe not the way the league wanted it to unfold. It maybe is not the way the Patriots or the Crusaders wanted it to end, but it's going to be official.
East Coast Trophies and Awards has been serving your awards needs since 1986 and is now a proud sponsor of the PDF Sports Network. From sports-specific trophies and plaques to corporate and business promotions and gifts, East Coast Trophies and Awards is your one-stop shop for all of your crowning achievements, and they always meet the right price. Contact Chris today at 848-223-7071 or visit them at www.eastcoastawards.com. Attention local businesses and professionals. Isn't it time to elevate your game? Now you can advertise your business or product on PDF Sports Network. Your ad will appear on all of our broadcasts, including this one. Don't have a commercial? We'll make one for you, absolutely free. What better way to showcase your product and brand while supporting the best local sports, teams, and leagues? Call now at 732-723-8189 or visit us at pdfsportsnet.com.
Dave is going to be joined by some members of the Big East football champions, the inaugural Big East football champions, the New York Patriots. This game officially suspended in the third quarter following a series of personal fouls that occurred on the Crusaders sideline. Player pushed out of bounds, and that triggered, I wouldn't even call it a melee. It was a tackle. As Dave's ready, we're going to send it down to Dave.
I'm here with owner of the Patriots, Dave. And Dave, I'm smelling champagne.
Yes.
Is that what you got downstairs?
That's exactly what it was. It definitely is flagrant right now. So definitely, man, it's great. We have a great team. We have a great staff. Big shout out to Coach X. Big shout out to Twan. The offense put up points and moved the ball. They just put it together and we end up with a perfect season. So, that's the way that you try to script it. It doesn't always end up that way, but hey, man, I'm blessed.
Got one more question for you, Dave, but let's make sure that we're okay. Joe, we are good? Yeah. Okay, we're a little bit in and out. We'll get a little closer. Let's get a little closer, make sure our signal's good. I know this is the end for you with the Patriots, at least, for now, maybe. What does this mean to you, seriously, given the entire scope of, your tenure with the team?
It means a lot, especially seeing some of our guys that have played for, my team since I got into this crazy thing called minor league football. Is something that just leaves footprints on your soul, and it really gets you to appreciate the people that you see.
What a moment for the organization and some more moments with your team.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations, Dave. That's Dave Patterson, owner of the New York Patriots. Catch up with some more players and coaches coming up.
East Coast Trophies and Awards has been serving your awards needs since 1986 and is now a proud sponsor of the PDF Sports Network. From sports-specific trophies and plaques to corporate and business promotions and gifts, East Coast Trophies and Awards is your one-stop shop for all of your crowning achievements, and they always meet the right price. Contact Chris today at 848-223-7071 or visit them at www.eastcoastawards.com. Attention local businesses and professionals. Isn't it time to elevate your game? Now you can advertise your business or product on PDF Sports Network. Your ad will appear on all of our broadcasts, including this one. Don't have a commercial? We'll make one for you, absolutely free. What better way to showcase your product and brand while supporting the best local sports, teams, and leagues? Call now at 732-723-8189 or visit us at pdfsportsnet.com.
I am joined by a host of Patriots here today, but first we're going to need some comments from some of our guys here.
Hey, man. Number one defense, number one offense. You see what's going on. We come here to play. We come here and do our job. We championships, undefeated. My boy Lee, congratulations. Keys, congratulations.
Congratulations.
PDF, congratulations. Thank you for joining us. And number one defense. That's what I'm gonna say.
Number one defense, you can't deny that. But we have our player of the game, Malik, right? A couple touchdowns.
Yes, sir.
Right? Made an exceptional play there right at the end of the half to really just put the punctuation mark on this one, kind of end it. What was that the goal of the game for you guys on offense, just to give your defense, that cushion that they needed to seal it away?
Yes, sir. It's nothing new. We did what we were supposed to do. My quarterback had trust in me, so I wouldn't do nothing without my guys. If it was nothing else came to do, you know? So I'm just glad I made the play, did what we were supposed to do, and we got the victory. We're champs now.
All right. Now, we can't forget about that defense now. What is it, 6 shutouts this season? They've scored more points than the other teams have even scored against them. What does it feel like as an offensive player to play in front of a defense like that week in and week out?
Definitely gives me the energy because defense wins championships. So they set the tone first. They give me the energy. Me and my guys on offense, we get them 6. They get us stops back and forth, and we love it.
Excellent. Malik, thanks for joining us. Congratulations today.
Thanks again.
You got it. That's Malik Wright. Thank you again. Joe, we'll throw it up to you.
Joe Foreman back with you here from the commentary booth on the PDF Sports Network, but we'll throw it back down to field level.
All right, Joe, I'm here with Joshua Vasquez of the New York Patriots. Been with this team for just about a half a decade. Josh, what does this win-win for you?
It's so much. You know, I mean, I've given into this organization since day one back in 2016. And for us to cherish an opportunity like this, you know, championship games don't come so easy. So for us to have a victory, this is special because I've been with this team since day one. My team has been put up on the match. We got the best defense. We got great quarterbacks. We got great playmakers like Leak. So more than anything, from the bottom of my heart, I mean, this organization has been so much to me, bro, and I'm not going to ever forget any of these moments. I cherish it, so that means a lot.
So what's next for you? What do you think is next for this program?
For this program, I mean, we're all going to retire as a unit, but for me as a player, I'm still going to try to showcase my talent, possibly going for the UFL tryouts and see where my talent can seek. So other than that, I'm going to continue playing football.
Well, good luck to you, Josh, and congratulations on the championship.
Thank you so much, sir.
You got it.
East Coast Trophies and Awards has been serving your awards needs since 1986 and is now a proud sponsor of the PDF Sports Network. From sports-specific trophies and plaques to corporate and business promotions and gifts, East Coast Trophies and Awards is your one-stop shop for all of your crowning achievements, and they always meet the right price. Contact Chris today at 848-223-7071 or visit them at www.eastcoastawards.com. Attention local businesses and professionals. Isn't it time to elevate your game? Now you can advertise your business or product on PDF Sports Network. Your ad will appear on all of our broadcasts, including this one. Don't have a commercial? We'll make one for you, absolutely free. What better way to showcase your product and brand while supporting the best local sports, teams, and leagues? Call now at 732-723-8189 or visit us at pdfsportsnet.com.
Oh, I got Tariq Mines here, star running back, one of the star running backs in this very deep rotation for the Patriots. Tariq, tell me a little bit about how this feels.
Shit feels amazing, you know. Like, I didn't think we would be here, you know. It took a lot of hard work, dedication, and patience to get here, you know. Shout out to good run for the Patriots, you know. Last year, I'm happy. Congratulations to Coach Dave, you know.
Yeah, you know, it didn't end the way we would have liked to with a full 4 quarters, but it didn't take you guys long to really show how dominating your team is, offensively and defensively. Tell me a little bit about that dominance all season.
All season, like, you got Malik, you know, with the hands. You got Honcho Bleezy, one of the Bleezies with the hands. Like, a whole offensive unit is just, like, amazing, you know. Like, we all work as a team on and off the field, you know, taking our time with our team, you know, getting to know each other, because you're not going to win a championship team if you don't know your team, you know. It starts with the chemistry.
Excellent. Nice talking to you. Congratulations.
Thank you,
Great
man.
season. You got it. All right, Joe, we will send it back up to you.
All right, Dave, welcome back to the booth. You got a chance to hear from many of the Patriots, players and coaches alike, ownership, down on the sideline. Final takeaways from this game.
Well, final takeaways, Joe, is that we didn't get the 4 quarters we bargained for, but I think we saw enough. You know, I think we saw just how good the Patriots are and what they've been all season. We got one half plus another couple of minutes of just a good indication of what they do offensively, what they do defensively, and I don't think we needed 4 quarters, to be honest with you. And then, of course, the stuff that happened at the end of the game, sure, it's a black eye, on the game itself. It's unfortunate, but just like Dave Patterson says, these are things that sometimes do happen, and the right calls were made, people were brought together, they made those decisions, but I think for all intents and purposes, the Patriots not only win the championship, but earned every bit of it.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. They were up 3 scores. I would guess we were approaching about 10 minutes to go, third quarter, maybe a little more. Either way, the Crusaders were putting together what looked to be their best drive of the game, but we'll never know what was going to come of that, as what instigated it all was a tackle right along their sideline. Things spilled out into the bench. From there were plenty of personal fouls, and that brought this game to a conclusion.
Yeah, and listen, Joe, it's not the first time we've seen this happen, where sometimes tempers flare, and you have to preserve the sanctity of the game and the field and the venue and the people that are here. You make sure you exit before anything greater can happen, and I think that the officials did what they needed to do. They conferred with everything. I think they took a look up at the scoreboard and said, hey, it looks like this one, we've seen all we need to see at this point, and tempers were too hot. There were too many people going back in to the fray to engage. So when that happens, I've seen it before. I've watched games on YouTube where games have been suspended prematurely. Look, would have loved to have gotten more than 2 quarters plus 3 minutes in, but unfortunately, these things do happen. It's unfortunate that it happened in a championship game, but again, I think we saw enough of the game to know that the Patriots are champions, and they deserved it.
Yep, they played extremely well, closed out the first half strong, and really separated themselves on both sides of the ball, both defensively and offensively. A strong showing for them and a fitting conclusion to the inaugural season of the Big East, at least in terms of what the Patriots accomplished this year.
Absolutely, Joe. And just to finalize as well, we can't forget about the fact that this is just year 1 of the Big East. We heard Commissioner Morgan say they want to build, they want to get bigger, they want to get better, and they want the play to get even better, even though the Patriots showcased some great play here as the inaugural champion. So they have big plans for this league, and we can't forget that as established as these programs are that took the field here today, this was a league that was only in year 1, so the bigger things are still to come. So, Joe, I think that'll end it for us. We want to say a big thank you to everyone at Big East Football for having us here, for all of you watching at home via tape delay. Our camera operator, Patrick Gialorenzo, Nick Bavona was our engineer extraordinaire today. Thank you to those gentlemen. Joe, thank you, for color commentary and, of course, your calls on all things semi-pro and arena football. So for Joe Foreman, I'm David Pizzuto, wishing you all a great rest of the evening, a great rest of the weekend. And once again, congratulations to the New York Patriots. 22-0 is our final here, and the Patriots are the inaugural Big East champions. Thank you for joining us right here on the PDF Sports Network.